You had the gold Chevelle, right?
Correct. Yeah.
In the Survivor world, that's one of the best looking fucking cars. Your car right there.
And it looks like the factory mirror. Like that's we're not trying to take away from the look. You know, we want to put them on a car that looks original, but they work. That's the whole point.
We've got one sitting right down there.
Yeah.
That we used them on. They're great, and
yeah.
it looks awesome.
That
Right.
we get it fairly regular. Oh, I saw you did that emblem here. Can you do
Just
one?
change
for
the
me?
font.
Right.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
So that's a designer to design it, an engineer to draw it up, a machinist to tool path it, then you machine it, then you flood fill it, then you sand it, then you package it and send it out. You probably have an additional 40, 50, 60 hours in it. And then you tell them your hourly
No,
rate.
but it's
and you're
just like that, but says different words.
yeah, but then that's
Right.
a $6,000 emblem.
Forgive me for the long-winded way of getting there. But I think that today is one of those days, isn't it?
No, when you announce it's gonna be long-winded, I'm like,
Kick the feet up. Yeah. Grab a pillow.
You don't have to listen, all right? Just trying to set it up.
Well, hey, before we get started, I got a question. Are you guys still doing the retro shop party in SEMA?
The party.
Yeah, the party.
I don't know, it wasn't that much fun last year.
I heard mixed reviews on the party. Yes, the party's coming back.
All right.
The party's coming back again. Coming back this year.
So you're gonna go to SEMA now?
I better
You
check
were
with the
gonna
wife, but yeah, she said I'm good to go. We'll see y'all there.
Perfect. Right
But-
on.
Right, babe?
She is on it.
About to ask who wore the fucking pants.
It's on camera, so it's official.
You got to run all the business decisions by her too.
Oh yeah.
How do you think shit gets done?
The Roadshow Shop Best on RS party is coming back again this year. Some people know, some people don't. If you're listening to this, now you know.
Now you know.
Best on RS is coming back. Go to roadstershop.com/SEMA. You can get your tickets to the party. You can register your vehicle for Best on RS. And if you're wanting to possibly win a chain, win the belt, take it all home.
We upgraded the chains too. There's a little extra ice this year.
Little, yeah. There's 10% more ice. 10% more
got
ice.
them here.
Yeah,
Where they at?
They're in the vault. We keep it in a safe.
they're actually
that shit laying around.
they're actually in process right now. They're mid icing. They're
Are you
getting iced.
currently working on the
Yeah.
bedazzling?
Yeah, they're currently like getting iced.
Yeah. Hidden little skill set at Josh's. He bedazzled every single one of those.
I
Like-
believe it.
You got a
Bye.
grill?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
You got a grill?
No.
No, he's been subcontract. He does all the Ring Brothers jeans. And does some
Makes
work for
sense.
Kenny Davis.
Kenny Davis
as well.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, Kenny Davis has kept me busy in the back.
Josh,
So-
you gonna have a sequin jacket to match?
No,
You
you
should
know
make
what?
one.
Josh the Iceman would be a good.
that would.
Yeah.
Speaking of the
Yeah,
Iceman,
Jacob the jeweler.
who you got on your shirt over there, Josh?
Dude. So I wore this specifically for you, Troy. I've been saving this. I bought it at a little thrift store recently, and I thought you would show up. You always have those rad '80s spin-offs of like your BBT logos. I'm like, Troy digs '80s shit, and I'm gonna dunk on him with this because this is a fucking ultimate '80s shirt, dude. Look at this.
It is.
That's the real fucking deal.
And he came dressed for business. Came with a logo shirt and everything.
I mean that.
$30
I'm a little
bucks.
jealous of that shirt.
$30 bucks.
That's a
I
good.
like it.
You can buy
Yeah,
it.
I had to pay for it. They didn't just give this thing away.
Now you need the Testarossa in the parking lot.
I know, dude. Yeah. I know.
So
we got the white 5.0 sitting over there. GT too.
Yeah.
That seems nice.
Yeah.
Troy didn't
Gotta
probably
write
share,
that.
but I'm actually the retro influence for him.
Are you really?
Oh yeah,
He's,
bring
he's
that
a
retro
t-shirt
vibe.
designer.
I love it,
Well,
man.
not necessarily a t-shirt designer, but one of our more recent designs for InTek.
Oh, nice.
A little retro koozie.
Sweet.
Yeah, you guys honestly nailed that, man. I love all the logos.
That's where that comes in handy right
Ooh,
there.
Oh, look at that.
fancy buttons.
We've got a little vibration going on.
Why don't you turn
See
it
them
off?
shaking.
What level do you have it on?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Well, we
Are you
got
guys
right into this and didn't do an intro.
You guys bringing a car to SEMA?
We are 71 Duster.
Nice.
There's still time. Swap a chassis under.
Is there? Yeah.
I know he's listening right now. He's gonna be pissed.
Sorry, Jordan.
That thing's
cool
gonna be
car.
sweet. The few pictures you've shown me, I think, is gonna be awesome.
Dude, we got the best on the rest.
We've got the best
Which
on the
is
rest.
That's a pretty
Stepped it up again for this year.
pretty banger award there too.
You get a free chassis or something?
No, you get a fucking. Do we want to disclose it?
No, it's
Or
a
should be
surprise.
secret?
Surprise! You gotta come by the
Yeah,
booth.
you just
and see
you
it.
get something really cool.
Something you can wear. It's a
Oh,
wearable.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a wearable.
Now we're talking.
It's not as cool
Bedazzled
as
jacket.
this rare Vanilla Ice T-shirt.
We
but it's
might
cool.
we might have time to throw in a bedazzled jacket with it.
Now we're talking.
Oh,
I give you shit for being old, but this is like the 5th thrift store purchase that he's had.
Well, it was more
Or
like
antique
It's like
store.
an antique
Yeah,
store. I like
antique store.
antiquing. Josh likes that
Love
too.
it.
It's because you're both old now.
Well, I just like the finer things. And the finer things were back in the day. So you got to go to antique stores to get them.
We would not have that Dukes of Hazzard digital wristwatch that's sitting behind him had I not gone there. That would not exist.
Right.
That would still be sitting on the shelf in Louisville, Kentucky.
Only $14.99.
Yeah.
Wow.
Plus shipping and handling.
Oh
There.
boy.
God, he
Antique
passed
stores are
that.
fun, man. I'm telling you. You get away. Sometimes it's just a relaxing thing. You might not even buy anything. But chances are you go through there, it'll be something you want.
It is very zen-like.
It is.
It's just it's calming. All the good old stuff.
Yep.
Have you been to the one in Volo?
No.
That's you carve out a weekend, like a
Yeah.
long weekend.
It's 656,000 square feet.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
It's
Are you going
huge.
to take up quilting next? Like you and my mom?
No, that's a woman's thing to do.
So
Lots
you're
of
gonna
men
start
do
next
anything.
week?
So don't be so chauvinistic. I'm sure there's men that quilt.
Yeah. Not manly men. Men that want to be women. I'm all into all kinds of things, but quilting is a thing
Why
safe
don't
for the
you
women.
get into this introduction?
We
Let's
should
get
do
into
that, probably,
Yeah.
because it sounds like it's going south. Another episode of Oil and Whiskey in studio. We've got Troy and we got Jamison. This is Troy from InTek OTTO, not Troy from BBT, right? Y'all look similar.
We do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my doppelganger.
Doppelganger. Guys, great to have you. We hang out a shit ton at the shows, and it's fun to do this again. You had a banger podcast last time, and now we're ready to do it again.
Yeah, let's do it.
You got big shoes to fill.
We'll see.
Troy Light was bringing it. Not as much as Troy Heavy, but let's pour some fucking whiskey
do it.
and let's get into this thing.
We got two.
I've got this mic problem.
We got a few options
We're gonna
here.
have to-
I-
We're gonna have to
I've been
restart.
reluctant to pour this because cousin Mikey's been getting so many shout outs.
Is this cousin
That's it.
Mikey's?
He's-
oh
yeah.
boy,
Oh,
we
boy.
can't do
So
this.
do we or do we save this?
I don't know, man. He won't stop talking about this if we do this.
He don't stop talking
Somebody-
no matter what.
Yeah, you're right.
We got like
He'll continue to talk about it whether we drink it or not.
somebody got a 6-pack of Coke or something we can mix this with.
Hey, I'll give the guy credit. He's generally been spot on with
He is.
whiskey
Let's
reviews
try this
and
because-
recommendations.
You got a
It's-
backup plan, right?
Yeah, I got a backup plan.
He hasn't brought
been
anything horrible
told-
yet.
This Dragon's Milk, Origin Dragon's Milk, I've been told it's a brewery, right?
Yes.
But if you're a beer guys know what this is. I didn't know what it was, but this is the only bourbon that they distill and put in craft beer barrels. Something like that.
They were known for they're known for their beer that they age in bourbon barrels. So they said, why instead of buying bourbon barrels, let's make our own bourbon and then we'll age our beer in that. So that's the story.
Are you going in with
Is this,
that? or
Josh, you
gonna
don't get the
bring your
fancy glass. I'm not giving you a fancy glass.
I don't get the fancy glass.
Not today.
I want a fancy glass.
You get to enjoy the fancy glass
Being polite, not
all the time.
Is this the one that inspired the eagle sound effects at the show, or was that a different bottle?
No, that was a different. That whatever that bottle was actually had an eagle on the top of it, and then cousin Mikey proceeded to caw like an eagle at the top of his
We
lungs.
got wings flapping.
Cousin Mikey did not have the best of showings at Triple Crown. He's had some good ones, but that one was one that he came out
That was rare for him.
not
That's
looking
hard
like
to say for him.
not looking the best. Quite a few losses, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, the push-up competition did not go his way.
Oh,
I don't even think that considers a loss compared to fucking chunking Eden on the ground.
I missed that. I just saw the damage the next
Later
day.
on.
I'm standing next to her. That's Vinny's
Yeah.
girlfriend. And I'm looking at it. And I didn't want to say anything because I'm like, it could be like a birthmark or something, you know? Her arm was like mangled.
Nobody's born with road rash. Like that was
You
taking
never
a
know,
fucking
dude.
street bike down at 180.
with the way that I throw smoke bombs out there,
You're right.
It would have clearly
Hey,
been like,
and good on you for learning.
right.
Yeah.
So I waited until she brought it up. And I'm like, oh my God, what happened?
He fucking wrecked
Yeah, I
her.
guess he just flipped her, dunked her on the pavement.
Yeah.
Hey, Mikey only has one gear. That's 100%. Full throttle, baby.
Yeah.
Love you, Mikey.
Well,
And
cheers,
I think he's gotten more shout outs than Troy.
Cheers.
Did you guys ever get your deposit?
I don't know. Did we?
Oh, no, I had to call into Jesse on that one.
Yeah. Jesse did get a
We
new
still
bike.
have-
Got
Oh,
a new
wow.
mountain bike, so that's probably where Mikey's deposit went.
That's good.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's good.
It tastes even better out of these awesome
Yeah, what are
glasses.
these?
That's why you just want me to have a glass. Just
Yeah,
'cause you want-
this is. Hey guys, prepare yourselves for the second shout out. We're like 10 minutes into this, and I'm throwing shout outs left and right.
It's weird because you never do that.
I know. Chassis customer, nice dude out of New Zealand, Andrew Cleland. Had a great conversation with him. He follows the podcast, which just goes to show there's a lot of viewers,
got
listeners.
some reach down under.
Down under.
What did he sound like when you talked to him on the phone?
I'll mangle it.
Can't do it.
No.
You can
Give
do
it
a
a try.
lot. You can do a lot of impressions.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to offend. There's like a New Zealand, Australia kind of gap.
Is New Zealand considered down under?
That's what I was going to ask.
They're a
I think that's
different
right.
country, but
Yeah,
it's still
they're
down
Kiwis.
under.
Yeah. Anyway, I was trying to. We were going to turn. This is turning from like a nice thing into now we're probably like harassing the guy. But
You said he's a listener,
yeah.
so he knows full well
Okay,
that he
right.
wasn't.
But
But you
great,
expect it
dude.
to be like really professional.
Great glasses. These things are sweet. That fits right in your hand.
That's
heavy.
a perfect
It just
wrap
feels
right there.
feels classy.
Feels
I can't.
nice.
I can't
Feels
wait.
expensive.
Can't wait to try
I like
one.
it. Yeah, eventually. Eventually. Not for you today.
Oh, fucking guys, what's been going on besides SEMA prep? What's been going on?
We got a bunch of new products out. Brought some new stuff with us today.
You have to get a little closer on that mic. Go ahead and just get a little closer. Right there, right, a little closer.
There we go. Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, that feels right. Well, before we get into InTek, we got to start with the whole story.
Yeah, where
like
did
where
did
the
it
hell did this
come
come from?
You,
And then we're going to hear your story.
Like a newer generation story.
yeah, I think it snuck up on us because you, as close as we are, I mean, we hang out a lot, we talk a lot. You didn't say shit, and all of a sudden I see this pop up on Instagram. I'm like, who's this? This is some cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, so we had made our aero mirrors and some of our smaller parts for a long time under the BBT Fabrications label. And it just got to the point where I wanted to separate it totally and branch off into something that we could really have, that we could focus on 100% aside from, the hot rod building. And I knew I with building cars full time, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it all alone by myself. So we built a car for Jamison probably about 4 or 5 years ago, and he's always been heavily involved in everything we've got going on in the shop, designing our retro shirts, and always had good ideas when we did his car. And I asked him, you want to partner up on this and kind of help take care of the sales side of it and the admin side, and let me just focus on designing the parts, and then you get them out there and push them out and handle the back end side of it. And so he's got a background in sales, and it just seems to work. So we launched July of 2023 is when we launched the company itself, and man, it's just kind of taken off. We've added quite a few new products in the last year, got some new stuff on the way, and it's just working out good.
Is this trickle down product stuff from stuff you're using in builds or stuff that you've always had in your mind?
Initially, it was the first, mirrors and whatnot we did. I guess back up, to the cars that we're building. And you guys know you always build something on a car, and then you got people asking if they can buy it. And none of the stuff we've ever done in the past was, repeatable profitably.
Well, you got to do the door skin too, because I recessed that,
It's
and
like
then
the whole front end of this car. So I
And
started.
you really can't see out of it that well either.
So I started trying to think about things a little bit different to where, you could monetize that at a later date, build it, do a one-off for the car you're building, maybe tweak it a little bit and sell it as a production part. So that's kind of how it all got started. And now moving forward, it's kind of thought about a little bit differently, to where we kind of try to think about a part that's going to be usable and design it and then incorporate it into our builds. So that's kind of how that got started.
I think that's interesting. From what you're doing, and number two, I think from the Survivor Series cars, it's becoming more and more important, because as that's progressing, and I know you had the Gold Chevelle, right?
Correct. Yeah.
In the Survivor world, that's one of the best looking fucking cars. Your car right there, that thing just,
That's cool.
Well, I appreciate it.
it's got the balls, as they say.
I mean, I couldn't take the credit if it wasn't for the stuff that you guys were building. I mean, that was a lot of the inspiration for it. So obviously putting it on a chassis was the foundation. Troy and I discussed it. It had to be low. I mean, I wanted it to drive real low, and we were able to do that with your guys' chassis, and that was what was really important to me. Obviously, some of the more performance features of it too, to make it reliable. 6-speed LT1 motor, make it something that I can drive whenever, and just really go out and beat on it. And that was kind of the purpose of that car when we were doing that together, was something that I could just go out and drive.
But you do that. I mean, you've gone on all kinds of road tours. You drive that thing, you beat on it, And that's kind of where I was going, was especially from a product manufacturing standpoint. We see this all the time, and you're taking it, you know, from some of the bolt-on items on the outside of the car. You do these Survivor, right? And it's so cool to leave everything like it is, especially if you find a really good one, right? And then maybe it's a repop mirror, or it's a repop this, and then you build a couple more, and you're like, well, this thing that's always sucks is it's like these mirrors like might be nice, but like they flop around and then like they vibrate and they do this. We're seeing this progression in making parts still look period correct, right? But function. Whereas in the street rod days, you know, you would make parts because it was either one, your state municipality required you to have wipers, so you're just like, it's a wiper. And we all remember some of the companies that were out there that were building some wipers back in the day, and you're like, that's not going to wipe my ass, let alone the windshield.
The mighty wiper. But you had to have it.
You had to have it. And the same thing with mirrors.
The
And
little peep mirrors, the little billet
Oh, those are my
profile
favorite.
mirrors, which if you put them on a fiberglass car, you had to carry that tiny little like 1/8 inch Allen with you because
smaller than 8.
You couldn't tighten
it's
them
like
enough.
a toothpick.
Yeah, because they had such a small footprint that you knew it was going to spider crack that fiberglass car. So you just like little Loctite and just give them and then they'd always come loose. And then you tighten them and then it cracked the damn door.
And I'm we talked about it before on this, and it seems like we're throwing shade or being shitty to the things that came before us, right? And that was the style. That's what moved us to where we were at. But you think back about all the things of like, let's hide this, let's put brake booster here, or let's put the smallest possible mirror on it just to say we've got mirrors, and then go ahead and hide a blinker in it too, and put all this stuff to get all that. And none of that stuff really worked, right? But it was that,
I think
kind of
was more like, because you weren't building cars to drive them then.
100%.
I mean, that's
It's rolling in and out of a trailer.
It's different now.
And
Everybody
now
wants to
when
drive.
you're on a road tour, right, and you're coming up with products, and you're telling us like, man, we could do this mirror, but one of the things, like, I really can't see out of that side. It needs to be just a little wider. It needs to be like this. It's a different way versus being like, let's just make it carbon fiber and cool. Let's just put like a billet ring around it. Let's put like more rivets in it. Let's do this and try to make it like badass. Make it like cool. Throw some, you know, nod to the classic styling, but make it work.
Right.
Yeah, I think looking at your product line, it seems like a lot of the stuff you're making is solving a problem that people have on cars that there's not an aftermarket solution for, and then taking the style and design element in there to make it something where you want to buy and it's fixing a problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's where it got started when we did the Aero mirror. Is there was nobody out there making something that would look, you know, that mirror's a modern mirror, so there's nobody out there making a modern mirror that looked good, that you could actually see out of. Like, even if you put the F-body mirrors on the passenger side, you couldn't see nothing out of them. So that was our big thing, is like, you got to be able to see out of the mirror. I've hopped in some cars that we built 10 plus years ago, and you get in it and drive it, and it's like, yeah, that mirror you can't see nothing out of. You're lucky if you can see something out of the driver mirror. So that's our big thing now, is pushing it to where you can actually see out of, especially the passenger mirror. And then it's not like a lot of these mirrors, even the stock ones that you can see out of them, you get them above 80, 90 mile an hour and they just fold over anyways. So, you know, we've kind of got that problem solved too. So I think we've got a product, you know, it's a pricey product, but I think we've got something that works well and you know, fits the builds also.
What's funny is because you're doing such a good job with the styling of it, and it fits a build. Unless you know, you don't know. So it's hard. It's got to be difficult on your side.
It is.
Because you're not building something that's like, oh, those are InTek mirrors, right? Because you're just kind of like, oh, that's cool, right? But it's not like you're building something over the next 2 years. People are going to be like, oh, shit, I got a set of, you know, so-and-so's hinges on there. I got Ring Brothers hinges. You know that's a Ring Brothers hinge. Everybody's seen it for so long, right?
No,
or these other.
Not anymore. You don't, because everybody's knocked it off.
Well, you're right. Yeah.
50 different variations of it.
Even then, if somebody else made it, you're calling it a Ring Brothers hinge. You know, it's became a thing, and which I'm not saying that's a good thing. That's because it's not going to be dated. It's not something that's standing out apart from the car. But from a marketing standpoint,
That's what we're kind of focusing on right now, is like our Classic Series line. You know, we want a mirror, like we've got our rectangles here, and that's, you know,
that's this one or this one.
the first
Yes.
one.
Okay.
That's cool.
You know, it's made so you guys could throw that on like one of those square body Blazers, and it looks like the factory mirror.
Yeah, we did. We've got one sitting right down there.
Yeah.
That we used them on. They're great, and
Yeah.
it looks awesome.
So, and it looks like the factory mirror. Like, we're not trying to take away from the look. You know, we want to put them on a car that looks original, but they work. That's the whole point. So it is a tough sale because they are pricey, but I think once somebody uses them, they're sold. So we've got a lot of repeat customers, and I think that helps.
Yeah, you've stayed like true to the original mirror technology, so you look in there and you can see back, right? That's good. That's the thing is,
Well, they're high polish, so you can look at the other side.
You can see a little, not as
Yeah.
clear, but
You're
right.
getting a little
distorted.
nervous here. Your sales job might be
Oh
taken.
boy! All right, here we go.
so what you do is you look there. And
I think that it perfect, in my opinion, it feels like there's a void in the market that it just perfectly fills. Because if you're building a car, like, all right, Survivor car, there's a pretty good chance that that factory mirror is going to work. You'll probably replace it 2 or 3 times with aftermarket ones that are going to keep folding down. Maybe you find an NOS one. When you jump up to like doing more like a resto mod car, there's always like, what do you do with it? Because it's got to be nicer. And most of those factory mirrors, you can't really take them apart and like plate them, or there's nothing you can really do to them. So
you can take them apart and plate them.
you just can't put them back
You
together.
won't put them together. They'll never go back together.
That's exactly what we did on this Jimmy. We're doing a pretty high-end Jimmy, and it's paint and body's all done nice. Everything's gapped out. It's all modified, and it's like, what do you put on it? You're definitely not putting a factory mirror on it. And what are you left with? Like, what are the options? You want it to coincide with the look of the car, and that was like, dude, it's a home run. It's one of those like, fuck, I wish I thought of that kind of things. But I'm glad it exists. That you
Well,
guys do
I'm
it.
glad we got there first.
You could put Gen 5 Camaro mirrors on it.
You could, yeah. I could put like F100 mirrors on it. You could do a lot of.
And it's nice to hear that the subtlety of the mirror is what you guys appreciate too, because a lot of times, like you said, people don't even really acknowledge that that's something different unless they know, right? Like you guys can look at a mirror and be like, that's not factory, but a lot of people don't know that. So it's nice to hear that our designs are actually in that line, because that's where we were trying to go with them.
It's tough when it comes from like new product development and the design standpoint, because when you're wanting something to make an impact, right? You're wanting that thing to people be like, oh shit, right? And sometimes you lose sight of what the thing's actually supposed to do, and then you're also losing sight of what your core demo is and what they're going to actually put these on, right?
Right.
Because I throw carbon fiber under the bus all the time, because that for such a while it was, you make something out of billet and throw carbon fiber on top of it. It really doesn't matter what it is. It's like, you got to buy it, right? And that's just nobody had really thought about what it was going to look like over years in use of a car, on a car. So you mentioned you built him a car. Where did you come from before then? We got to hear the origin story. That's gonna make a lot more sense.
Well, we heard the beginning about the loss of the split window Corvette, so we know where he came from. From inception.
Yeah, from inception. For those who weren't a part of that conversation earlier, my dad had a 63 split window Corvette, which is probably a big part of why I'm into cars these days. My uncle actually used to drag race and restore first-gen Camaros. Still does for the most part, but that's a huge part of my upbringing. I remember when I was probably 5, maybe 6 years old, different time back then, literally hanging on to the roll cage as he's doing a pass, doing a burnout. Like you're talking about like some stuff that would never happen now. But those memories are for me like the core ones of how I started to fall in love with going fast, old cars, and just cool stuff, right? Like it's something that has always been a part of my upbringing. My grandfather, he drove like hell. He drove crazy. So it's just been in my blood from day one. And to back up a little bit further from kind of where Troy introduced InTek, was Troy and I grew up together. We went to elementary school together, so we've been friends for a long time. I'm from Champaign, born and raised, grew up there, and then I moved to Arizona between my sophomore and junior year of high school. So Troy and I remained friends, but we weren't really that close during those times, just kind of different times of life. And I was a sales rep for 15 years or so, and I had a company car, and I was like, man, I'm so sick of driving this Nissan Altima. This thing is just not fun. It's kind of taking the life out of me every day driving it, because I'm used to having at least something that's kind of fun. And then I was like, I'm gonna buy a muscle car, and of course, 69 Camaro, right? Like, what else would I buy? My uncle restores them, and it's what I've grown up to love and appreciate. And so I called up Troy, and I was like, hey, man, I want to build a 69 Camaro, and I want you to help me find one. He was like, okay, how much money you got? And I was like, well, I don't really want to spend too much, because I'm just kind of getting into the muscle car thing. And he was like, well, we can try to find you one, but I don't know that your budget's going to really work with it. So long story short, I didn't get a 69 Camaro. I ended up getting a 71 Chevelle. It was something that was local in Phoenix. It was already LS swapped, had an LS1 in it. It kind of, I guess for that moment, scratched the itch, right? And I was like, okay, this is great. This is exactly what I want. And then as I started to get more and more into, the Good Guys shows and Barrett Jackson, we did a road tour in it for Good Guys. I put a LSA supercharger on it. I tried to lower it on some coilovers, put some, I think, Billet Specialty and then Forge Line wheels on it. And I was just like, this isn't This isn't it.
not
Like I
getting it.
want
Gateway drug.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly what it was.
So then I was like, I'm going to sell it, and then I'm going to hang out for a little while. I don't need to spend money on that right away. And then as soon as I sold it, I think it was maybe 2 weeks later, I called up Troy and I said, hey man, I found this gold Chevelle in the backwoods of Tennessee. You got your truck and trailer? Why don't you go look at it? If it looks nice, just bring it back. And so sure enough, good old boy Troy went down there and said, yeah, well, it's on my trailer and coming back with me. So I was like, all right, order a chassis and let's get this thing started. So that kind of developed that whole relationship again with Troy, just having that friendship from early on. And then InTek came about with, his parts, and I'm obviously background in sales. So I was like, hey man, let me help you, because I feel like you could use some help with growing the brand and kind of getting it out there to people. And I think you got a great product. We just need to push forward on it. So that kind of fell into place.
What's the juggle been like between both businesses?
It's tough, I'll tell you that, especially because it's kind of blown up in the last, I don't know what, 3-4 months. It's really, sales have really gone up. So there's a lot of work that goes into, just simply packaging and shipping stuff that you don't think about, and then we're just getting more and more into, proper development of how we do things and how we ship things and boxes and all the simple things that nobody thinks about when you want to start doing something like this. But it's been okay. I've got a good team of guys at the shop, so that really helps.
Everybody's pulling double duty between the companies now?
No, nobody pulls double duty. There's only one guy that pulls double duty, our design guy. So,
okay.
But everybody else is totally
Separate.
So that part of it, kind of helps. But I'm always now, my mindset, when we're building a car is how can we monetize a product? If we're gonna make something, let's figure out how we can make it to where we can sell it to the masses if possible.
Was there like a pivotal moment that changed your thinking? Because building hot rods, you build super high end cars, fucking unbelievable metalwork. You're probably quite close to Troy Heavy as far as like fabrication, like talent, pure talent. Right?
Everybody brings that up, and I got to give another shout out here.
Shout it out, man. We're shouting out.
I've got the fucking name of the podcast. Shout out hour.
I've got the absolute best guys at the shop. I mean, everybody brings mine up when it comes to metalwork, and I do metalwork, and I've done a lot. But man, it's the guys at the shop. The guys there are they're crushing it. I mean, I got Carl, Clay, Tad, Nate, Grant. They're all they're all good, man.
Clay still got a mustache?
I don't know. That's a good question. I was just with him all weekend in Arkansas.
You
and I don't know that I paid attention.
You just get used to it.
But yeah, I want to make sure that my guys get the credit. I mean, these guys
awesome,
they're awesome at what they do, and it's not all me. I know I always seem to get most of the credit, but most of it really should go to them.
Awesome, dude. So as you're building cars, which is a huge lift. I mean, I can't imagine that you're sitting around. You're like, I have all this free time. I want to start something else because I have nothing to do. Like I just find myself, I'm bored. Right?
Yeah.
So
I didn't have.
What pushed you to do that?
Like, I think. Well, so our first mirror was 2019 was when we first brought out those mirrors, and so we're here in 2024. So it's been 5 years. So it wasn't like it's something that came up overnight, but it was something that was just kind of a back burner deal. We'd make 5 or 10 sets, and it might take a year to sell them.
First mirror on the Firebird?
Yes. It's not exactly the same as our production one, but that was the first mirror that we did as a one-off for that car, and that's when I was like, this is something that we have. We have something that we can sell now, and so we need to tweak it to where it's not the same as what's on the Firebird, so that way it's something that can be sold and that car can still have its one-off. But it was just over and over. We did a gray Firebird in 2013, and I don't know. I probably had. I bet I've had 25 people call me over the years and say, "Can you build that front end, that nose? Can you build that front end for me?" And
it's
like,
just a clip, fiberglass.
Like you're gonna have to send me the whole car, and then it's gonna be very expensive. And the more and more we got into it, we got to those mirrors because we were trying to find a mirror for that car, and there was nothing out there that we felt that would work. And it was like, okay, here's the opportunity. There's a void in the market. We need to fill that gap, and so we did. And like I said, we had it. And it was there, but I didn't really put a whole lot of effort into it until about a year and a half ago. And that's when I kind of decided, like, this is the time. Like, I need to have do something with this. Like it's here. I have the product. All we got to do is push it and develop it and get it out there. And that's how InTek was formed with the help of Jamison. So if it wasn't for him coming on board, I don't know that it would have ever got pushed into where we're at now with multiple product development and actually being able to sell stuff and manufacture it in higher quantities and whatnot.
Where'd the name come from?
Where did the name come from?
Auto. Where'd auto come from? I think I came up with InTek and he came up with the auto part.
Yeah, so I think when we were talking about names, Troy mentioned InTek, and I was like, oh, auto, obviously automotive. And then I was like, I feel like AUTO just kind of feels like, I don't know, maybe a little cheesy or a little
Like
cliche.
a little used car dealer.
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, what if we did something different? And I, for some reason, saw OTTO, and I was like, oh, that says auto, like in a different way. And I thought it kind of looked cool. And honestly, there's not really any meaning behind it. I was just kind of like, InTek Auto could be cool. And then it just kind of came about, and that was it.
Yeah, we just didn't want to have some cheesy, brand where it was like
Roadster shop.
Yeah,
Or,
Roadster
yeah.
shop. Just I don't know, trying to maybe build a brand with it, and have a unique name. So really,
The naming process is always intriguing to me.
Oh, it's the worst.
Because when you look at stuff like, think about it. All right, think like Google, Yahoo, Peloton, Coca-Cola.
None of it means shit.
Like, where did just
Right.
all these things? It's like, who was sitting around and came up with like, what the fuck does Peloton mean?
Yeah, I mean
I know where Coca-Cola came
Well,
from.
yeah, right. That was a bad example. Bad example. Sorry.
we weren't trying to put our name in the phone book, so the name really didn't matter. It's like whatever
Yeah.
you want it to be called, something that rings and that we felt comfortable behind is kind of where we were at. I don't even. We had like 3 or 4
Auto stands
options.
for over the top. Oh,
It's just a different way.
it just keeps going over the top. Yeah, no, I get. Thanks. I was trying to make up an acronym for
Yeah,
it.
I could see you were struggling.
Yeah, the last O is the problem.
I was
Not a lot
holding
of
an olive
things.
branch out there.
Not
to
a lot of
save
things
you.
start with O.
a lot of things start with O.
Do they?
Olive.
I see you guys are.
They
One
just
more.
don't make sense.
I got something for you guys since you're all low on your drinks here.
Oh shit!
I brought something for you.
Troy Light.
Oh, that's great.
That's
Wow.
fucking awesome.
That's impressive.
So is that like stuck around the industry now?
It seems to have.
I know.
How long has it been going on and behind my back that I didn't know about?
No, that was spur of the moment.
It just like
when
It came on here.
when it was recorded is when it came about. Yeah.
When I heard it, I was like, man, I wonder how long they've been calling me that for. This has been going on for 2 years, and I'm just now hearing
If
about it.
to be completely honest, I stole that from Vinny.
Did you?
Vinny, I think it was Vinny's idea to say call you Troy Light,
That seems like something he'd come up with.
because he's a
out to Vinny.
super nice guy.
Yeah, he's such a nice guy.
Yeah, that one's more like you could accept that easier. I'd be more concerned with like the Troy Heavy part. It's like,
He's not heavy anymore though.
yeah, I know. It's
I know.
just like it's a little insulting.
Well, I don't think we're saying he's heavy. He's heavier.
Okay,
Troy bigger than Troy Light.
got it.
But see, that's harder to say.
That's great.
That's pretty
The
fucking
mullet
sweet.
is still.
Oh, that mullet. That was when Troy was real light, too. That's an old picture.
That was pre-TRT, Troy. Look at that. This is the branding experience. Don't worry, you're gonna get an invoice for this later. Where can somebody get a fucking 6-pack of Troy Light?
We got an affiliate link down below. We'll get credit for
I
everyone.
lost my backdrop. There it is.
Link in bio.
So what's the next step? I mean, obviously you've got production, like you said. People do take it for granted that are starting something on sheer packaging, designing the packaging, getting the packaging, making sure you're stocking the correct amount of packaging. Being like, I don't want to have a different box for every single thing, foam and there's a lot behind the scenes that before you even like. In theory, marketing and designing the product becomes a lot easier than getting it out to the.
That's the stuff that I feel like differentiates yourself from like just a hot rod shop that made a product. So you guys you're a fucking company. I mean, you're building badass shit. It's like you can make something and toss it in a box, throw some packing tape on it, and send it out the door. But like to me, it's like that's the hard part, right? The ideas are easy, to some extent. Making the products not so bad. It's like delivering it in a professional kind of manner.
That also
packaging it
doesn't
right.
cost as much as the
Yeah,
product.
and doing it efficiently, you know?
And that's
it's
I mean,
tough.
we did that. I mean, for up until recently, just threw them in a box and bubble wrapped it up and sent it on its way. And I think that's Jameson needs to answer that because that's where he comes in.
Well, for me, it just was something with high-end product that we're selling. Obviously, not a low price point, and you want to make sure that your customer is getting the full experience with that product, right? They order it and they get it, and that's great. But we want it to be memorable. We wanted it to be professional, and so, like Troy said, we've kind of recently done some packaging updates to where our boxes are going to be branded now, and it's going to be in a nice like laser cut foam, so it keeps it better for shipping as well. But it's just that experience when you're buying a high-end product, you want to give a high-end delivery on it too.
Sure.
I saw something just the other day talking about the experience and everything that goes in. Just because it's expensive doesn't mean it's luxury. Mm-hmm. So there's luxury is the experience, right? You have to have just because you put a price point on it doesn't mean it's luxury. It can be, but you might not have the luxury experience if, like you said, you look at big brands like, Louis Vuitton or Rolex or something, like all of the different things that go along with it, that it's almost like alleviating some of the pain from the price point, right? Or justifying it in a way,
It's
right?
like when you build a car for a customer and they've got hundreds of thousands of dollars in it. It's a lot easier to spend those hundreds of thousands if their experience is good.
100%.
And they're happy.
100%.
Make them happy, whatever it takes, and that gives them a good experience. So it's, kind of goes back into that with the company is as far as like how we do our customer service, how we present our product, and then what we deliver.
And that was important to us too, because we've, both or all of us, I'm sure, have bought products in the market and had a bad experience. And then you're even more frustrated when you call that customer service line and you don't get help, or you're looking for a solution and maybe not a full, we're going to refund you, keep the product, whatever, but just something to say, we understand that you're going through something that you didn't want to experience. And so for me, I handle a lot of our customer service, and that's important because I feel like when a customer has an issue, if you don't resolve that issue for them, there's a good chance they don't come back.
Yep.
And we want that. We want them to come back and continue to support our products. And the only way to do that is to really take care of them. So more often than not, even if it means we got to take kind of the low road on it, we will. We'll make sure the customer's done right first.
Good. We got a long night ahead.
Got a long night.
Yeah, we do.
But I mean, also with our quality too. I mean, that's to touch on the price point. That's a reason why our pricing kind of is the way it is, because all of our products are to the highest quality. And shout out to Troy, another shout out.
Fucking shout out.
But
Shout out hour.
he does all the quality control in Illinois, and it's great because I can trust him to know that when the products come in, to look at them and make sure everything looks good, and when they're off the machine, that everything's done right. And if they're not, we're going to make sure we fix it to do them right every time. So that's extremely important to us, and keeping it consistent for our customers. Like if you guys order a set of mirrors now and you order a set of mirrors in 6 months, it's going to be the same quality. You're not going to see the quality drop, or it's going to be a different type of mirror. It's going to be the same, and consistency is important to us as well at InTek.
Besides mirrors, you get more stuff coming out. I just saw you put something on the Instagram.
We got a bunch of
Looks
stuff.
like
We got a
some new
bunch of
products
stuff
definitely get out
already. We're just known for the mirrors. I mean, the mirrors are our key to success right now. But we've got a bunch of different stuff that we've got that little reservoir that
We like to solve problems that people don't know they have.
yeah. So that'll adapt onto the like the Tesla master cylinder, so you can get rid of the plastic deal and run the Willwood reservoirs on top of it. We've got something I think's really cool that nobody messes with is the 10 that right there, that shifter. That's a 10 speed GM shifter where they've got that goofy plastic knob, and everybody puts those in, and then it looks you throw that in a Survivor build or a classic build, and then it looks like it's got a shifter out of a new Camaro in it. So that's an adapter that we sell to where you can run just whatever knob you want on top of it, and it'll still shift the car properly, so that you can not look like you've got that brand new shifter in the car.
Yeah, that's a great piece. As popular as the 8 and 10 speeds are getting,
Yeah.
if you really want to get the full use out of them, you've got to use that shifter,
Yeah.
and it looks so out of place
Exactly.
in a Survivor type or nostalgic car.
Yeah.
And that right there is actually a new product that we're prototyping right now. It's like an AC closeout panel for the square bodies. Basically, if you remove kind of all that factory AC heater box there, you have that huge hole in your firewall. So for the guys that don't necessarily want to go down the paint and body jail, they can put this billet kind of closeout plate on it to cover it up. To
That
make it
whole
look
thing's
factory.
machined?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's a big
That's a
piece.
serious piece.
How much machine time is in that?
It's not as bad as you think. It's about 6 hours.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Man, that's hogging some material.
Hey, what about that one right
Throwback.
there? Oh, there you go.
Throwback.
There's another one of our logos. There's our mirror lineup. Go back to that engine bay right there. That engine, that Chevelle engine.
So you can't even tell it's an engine.
You guys run those engines in a lot of your builds, don't you?
LTs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's another.
That's
Nice
Jamison's
little
car.
Yeah, so this is my Chevelle, and when we were doing it, I was really adamant about putting the LT in there, and I was just like, man, Troy, this just doesn't look right with it saying Corvette on there and that big plastic looking thing. So I was like, hey, let's make an engine emblem cover that will go over that, kind of slip over the raised lettering that will look kind of more factory style from the appropriate era, right?
Yep.
And so that was kind of born then, and we make a LS3 cover as well. We have one right now that says Chevrolet and one that says Chevelle. We're working on some future designs for like Camaro, Nova, Firebird, kind of the more staple vehicles to have on those engine swaps as well. But that's something where it's like, again, a problem that you don't know you have until you're like, man, I'd really like for that to not be there, but how do we make it look right? And so that's kind of one of the designs that came up with that.
You can spend a couple $100 body working it, smoothing
Right.
it, filling it, grinding it down, painting it.
Yeah.
Crack.
I noticed on your guys' build, you guys use a lot of LT1s, and you never run those Corvette covers, that little intermediate piece. Is that because it says Corvette? You're not trying to put a Corvette in a...
Yeah,
A Legend
usually-
series.
I mean, the LT1 usually lands in the Legend series, which in that it's so like
Right.
functional looking.
Yeah,
that
you don't want it to say Corvette on there.
Right.
So we got something for you guys. Too.
Oh damn, dude!
That's some salesmanship.
Wow.
right there.
Perfect. That's how you fucking do it.
That's exactly how you do it. So now we have to buy these. That's a done deal. What do we need?
Nicely done.
12 sets of those? Yeah, I dig that, man. That's awesome.
Yeah, because nobody wants their, I have a C10, and I would never want to open the hood of my C10 and have all the Goonies come by at the local Cars and Coffee and say, oh, man, you got a Corvette engine in that thing?
Right.
You've been to a Cars and Coffee.
But they think that's cool. That's,
Man,
it's
I
the
think
good, it's
cool.
the good
I'd
guy
rather
shit.
them
It's
not.
the assholes like me that you got to worry about walking by. I was like, fucker, just didn't even grind that off. Like, Jesus.
We're just going to hack this one.
Yeah.
So again, it's just
That's a cool piece.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's sweet.
it's the little details, and I think that's a lot of what kind of we speak to at InTek too. Is that the little details matter, especially. I mean, you guys know on these builds where the littlest of detail can mean the biggest to the customers. It's something that we like to take pride in to make sure we're able to put that out.
What do you think the next trend is on like motor dress up? The making the motor look like what it's not. It seems like it's. I mean, it's still cool. It looks good, but it's been going on for a while now.
I don't know, man. We struggle with that. Like on his car, that was one thing that him and I kind of battled a little bit because I wanted to make it look like it was a 289 or whatever. And that trend has been here.
Yep.
And he was like, no, I don't want to do that. Let's just clean it up, make it look nice, and put you saw the picture of it. I mean, it's an LT1.
Right.
We're not trying to make it look like anything else. I don't know. That's a good question.
Yeah, I've been thinking about it. I've been wondering, I mean, is it just that? Is it just like it's a performance motor, let's just let it be what it is? Or we
I still think there's a lot of motors out there that you can
still continue to
address it. But I also think that by the nature of progression of motors, that the next thing is going to be the LT6 and that you're going to have to learn that process over again, right? So it's going to revert back to twin throttle bodies and making it look more modern. And I mean, Z06 motors, it's not too far along. We're going to be doing flat plane crank Z06 engine swaps and Camaro, Chevelles, and anything like
there was a
that.
brand new Z06 at the mile last weekend. We were down there running Brad's Firebird, and it was 80 miles on it, and they were running 189 miles an hour in the mile every single pass. AC on up to the line, take
Stereo
off,
crank,
just go.
On
It sounded
control and-
fucking amazing too.
Yeah, does not sound like an American-made V8. at
No,
all.
it sounds like a 458. It sounds like a damn 458.
Super
Well, it's exactly what
It's,
they copied to build it, but it's
Nothing will make you
sounds-
more mad than prepping all weekend to go up and make a pass, and this guy's just rolling up here and
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Sipping.
remote start it to go and walk over and get.
If you
But
think
just
about,
for clarification on that, how fast did Jesse Greening go?
he went 2:02.
Who is that?
Yeah, who is that?
Who?
2:02.
He's
I don't
one of
know.
those Southern
2:02.7.
202.7, give or take.
We ran 2:13 last weekend in the 2K.
that's
in the
great.
2K.
That's greater than, right?
I think
Wow.
so.
It's
I don't
more
know.
than
Josh
Okay,
is
it's
the
more
math
than-
guy.
Yeah.
That's Josh.
Yeah, so we still they're still up on us in the mile itself, but in the 2K, our top speed overall, we eclipsed them. So it's their turn. Jesse's coming back with that car again, so
Is he?
shouldn't talk too much shit.
No,
you
you
need
got
to.
to. Yeah, it's not like it's recorded or anything. Nobody's like,
This is just for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Well, fucking congrats, man.
friends.
Absolutely
that's cool.
congrats to do that.
Yeah, that was
I know y'all were just that close, and
been-
you had to go back and do it.
we had to. That was
Brad wasn't going to let you
No.
not do it.
Brad, that was his like lifelong goal. I have never seen a grown man so happy in my life when that happened. I was at the finish line when he came up, and I got to be the one to tell him how fast he ran. And man, I'll tell you what, like winning all the awards at car shows and everything is great and fun, but when you get a car that you can go out and beat on like that and prove that it actually works, that's a sense of accomplishment that's on a different level.
What made him want to chase 200 so bad?
That was
It's just a thing?
That was the thing from the very beginning of that car is it has to run 200 miles an hour, and
Were you
You
guys
get it.
laughing at
yeah.
that? Like, oh,
well,
yeah,
I'm like,
right,
oh
yeah.
yeah, no problem. Yeah, we'll go do it. And you don't think it's that much work, and it is for a car like that, and for a Pontiac power plant that was insanely hard. So anybody out there trying to go 200, it is a lot of work to get it there. Unless you're going to go buy a Corvette and put a blower on it or whatever. But if you want to build a muscle car from the 60s and do that, it is a lot of work to make that happen. And we got there finally. So I'm happy, proud of my crew, and happy that Brad got what he wanted. And man, it was a great
Is that
accomplishment.
a fun time? Go out there and do that?
Oh man, it is the most work you can ever possibly put in one weekend. Like all the guys running Bonneville obviously probably know, it is so much work, but it is so rewarding when the results are the way you want them to be. It is fun and long and hard.
That's what she said.
I knew that was coming.
I'd love to do that with the Grand National. I mean, that car was everything on that car was designed to work and go fast. It's just hasn't had the opportunity to really like stretch its legs.
Yeah, I would strongly suggest it. And that Arkansas, that East Coast Timing Association, that place is probably the best place to run. I mean, you could probably make, we could have probably made 15 passes in one day. I mean, it's
Wow.
you can, they get it moving. So it's a good place to go run. Lots of room, safe. I would strongly suggest going down there.
What's the horsepower number on that car?
Well, the clutch was good to 1,200 horsepower, and the clutch is no longer in the car. Well, it's
No longer
it's
good.
in there, but it's
Parts of it are.
parts of it. It's clanking around. So the last pass that we ran, which we were 3.5 mile an hour faster than that pass that you just showed, that 200 mile an hour pass in the half mile, and we were probably right around 1,400 horsepower in that car. So
What's the gear in it?
300. So it's taken a lot to get it going.
Yeah, I've always wondered. I mean, there's a certain level of like, obviously, aero talent, sophistication, and all that, but it also like kind of comes down to like trans gearing, rear gear. and
Yeah, I mean, if that car
horsepower,
had an
right?
automatic in it, we'd probably be running 210.
Yeah.
I mean, just the amount of time that you're shifting from first to second to third,
Just
all that
losing mile
let
an
up.
hour.
It's just, if I were to do that car over and again, after what I know now, we would have had an automatic transmission in it for sure, no doubt.
And the mirrors made it 213.
The mirrors are so aerodynamic that, man, it
Probably
I
added,
think
what,
that probably had something
3
to do with
miles
it.
an hour?
just- might have.
At least.
Yeah.
Just do a little spoiler on the top of the mirror.
I mean, who else can claim that their mirrors, can withstand 213 miles an hour?
It's a good question.
Did you guys lose
Our
the windshield?
chassis can do it a couple
Sure.
times.
Yeah. Yeah, that car's been over 200 mile an hour, I think now 3 or 4 times. Well, it went over 200 mile an hour every time that we ran it this weekend, but prior to that, I think we had been over 200 like 3 or 4 times, but not in the mile. So there you go. And Jesse's done it probably five or 6
Yeah.
times too. So
I mean, you add that up. I mean, basically, it's good for 2,000 miles an hour.
I would say.
I mean, the
something like
math says it.
Right?
Oh yeah,
Doesn't lie.
checks out.
When you're coming back from shows, y'all are together. You're getting this InTek thing rolling. It's blowing up. You're getting, obviously getting on the right cars, the right builders. People talking about it. I mean, social media obviously is a thing been talked about to death. When you're coming back from a show, what's the things that are going through your head? Is it for further promoting the existing products, or is it constantly like, oh shit, we need to do this, or what about this?
I think it's a little bit of both. I mean, usually when we're coming back from a show, we're typically going, man, the award winner had our mirrors or something on it, or door handles or something. Because
Y'all worry about that type of stuff? like from promotion standpoint for the business?
It certainly doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it can't be great, right? No, it's always good when we have award winners with our products on it. But I think with Troy and I, we kind of always look to advance the next step. You know, we think we've got some pretty flagship products now, but always looking to see what that next step might be on either like a new style of build, you know, like the Survivors line, kind of what we're doing right now, or the Classic series. But I think we're always looking to add new products to it and try to find things that consumers are going to want.
He's trying to add them a lot faster than I am.
Yes, I am.
He doesn't understand the development.
I do. I'm just impatient.
And
we
all
talked
the,
about that.
all the stuff that goes on behind the scenes. So I'm like, man, we just got to get this one rolling before we work on the next one. But no, we're trying to. We're always thinking about the next thing. What can we do? I think our big thing is just trying to fill a gap in the void. You know, we're not trying to get out there and do things that other people are doing. We have a couple of things that overlap some of the other companies out there, but I think it's just because they don't offer anything that we feel like fits in what we're trying to do. You know, obviously at BBT Fabrications, we use all these products, so I want to make sure they're going to fit on our builds properly, and so that's where a lot of it comes from, is trying to develop a product that will work on something that we're building at the shop as well.
How much R&D time goes into that? I mean, are you fitting stuff, changing stuff?
Yeah, I mean the mirror stuff, because we kind of have the basis down. We don't have a huge amount of R&D in it, but there's a lot. I mean, we need to sell probably 10 sets of mirrors to recoup our money. So there's quite a bit. It's not something that just was thrown together. There's a lot of effort that went into it.
It was like there's so many companies out there that don't build cars but build parts, and then like you get those parts and then you realize that they don't build cars.
Yep. 100%.
And then you get the parts from the guys that build cars, and you're like, oh shit, yeah, that just kind of works.
Yeah.
That could be said for even like people that don't build cars, just people that don't use the products that they sell. I mean, there's parts out there that are.
I mean, it's happened to us. We'll
Have you ever
make something
hooked that battery up? You see if it powers a car?
We've done it before too. We'll make, we usually try to do a small batch run when we get something prototyped out, because it costs just as much to make one as it does 5. So we'll run 5 sets, and it's like, well, these are junk, and you're throwing them all away, and they're not good for anything. I mean, they'd work, but not the way we want them to.
Sell them on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, no.
Good guys trophies.
Chevelle replacement mirror.
It's a what is it? Crawl, walk, run is kind of what they say.
Yeah.
I'm more of like a let's skip, jump, and leap, and Troy kind of has to tame me down a little bit. So
Well, then you meet in the middle.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a great thing. I've got a question, and forgive me for the long-winded way of getting there, but I think that today is one of those days, isn't it?
No, when you announced it's going to be long-winded, I'm like,
kick the feet up. Yeah. Grab a pillow.
You don't have to listen, all right? A couple guys in New Zealand and some in Australia are listening right now, right? So I think you've got a very unique perspective on the way what I'm about to ask you. One, because of all the work that you've been doing with Roger and the business development classes, right? 2, because you have been a car builder for so long. Now you're a car builder, but you're also developing products and selling products to end users, right? Guys are going to build the cars at their house, and you're also selling to shops, high-end shops. You talk about the award winners with your products on there. What have you seen as far as a change in the industry for the last 10 or 12 years from that mentality of, I'm not going to buy anything from somebody, I'm going to build it myself, or I got to put my name on it, right? There's the ego part of it. There's the business sense part of it. There's stuff that goes, you for so long, you see videos and you see people out. We do everything in-house. We do everything in-house. We do it all in-house.
You just don't do it really good.
Right. Well, and there's something to be said for farming out the thing that you can't do, right? So I'm not throwing it off on anybody that is able to do it all in one. But over time, you think back, we look back at the good old days as far as lateral G days, right? And it's like, I'm not going to buy something from anybody. I'll just make it. I'll make my own. It might not turn out as nice, but I can say that I made it. And then sometimes you're billing a customer for that. You're billing a customer times 10 on the hours to build your first chassis. Right? Yeah. Or design, or take a set of mirrors and cut them up and do the first set that you've ever done. And it costs that customer 10 times, but you're able to put your name on it. And I'm not saying it makes sense in different scenarios. But what have you seen the difference in? Because I've seen a difference, and I want to know if you have.
Yeah, I have. And actually that has a lot to do with why InTek OTTO came about, because we don't want people putting BBT Fabrications mirrors on them, because I personally feel like that's a downside for another builder to use another builder's product on their car, right? So that's part of why we separated it. But I also see that, you know, back when I first started, I wanted to build my own chassis. And you realize real quick that if you want to do it right, it's going to cost 4, 5, 10 times as much as it would cost to build a roadster shop or to buy a roadster shop chassis, and it's not going to be as nice. And I think it's finally come to the time where, you know, it's okay to use other people's product on your build, because you're a builder. You're not a parts manufacturer. You're not manufacturing, you know, mirrors, you know, for you guys, like for the roadster shop. You guys are building chassis, you're building cars. Can you make those mirrors? Absolutely, 100%. But is it cost effective for you to do all the R&D and development?
Is it cost
Probably
effective
not.
to the customer?
It's certainly not cost
that's
effective to the customer. And so, and you know, that's part of the reason why InTek OTTO is InTek OTTO and not BBT parts. Just so that way those builders that do have those egos where they don't want to use anybody else's parts that's building cars, they're not now.
Right.
You know?
And I know that's probably an overgeneralization, because we've all got those cars, right? You're going to have customers that come in. You might be building a car right now you're building it. He comes in, you have that relationship. This is going to be a thing. And you're going to probably design and develop and do parts on that car that you're not going to sell for InTek, or it might be a little bit watered down version of that to make it more affordable. There's guys out there, we're going to do the same thing. We're going to do something. We're not going to buy parts. We're going to machine our own. But then there's also those cars of like, yeah, we're going to build a Survivor, or we're going to build this guy his third, fourth, whatever car, because of his expectations and what we know his expectations are in that vehicle. That should determine what you do with that. Just like we don't build engines, but we don't ever look at ourselves at the end of the day of like, man, can't believe we had to buy a motor from General Motors. I mean, fuck, what does that say about us?
They're building like cars.
Yeah. And you know, and that's where I always look at it, is like, we don't machine the fucking brake caliper, right? Jesse machines his own wheels, right? But he buys somebody's fucking brakes.
Right.
He could machine his own brakes, right? But there's a time and a place, and sometimes that ego needs to come step down and take care of the customer with still putting your brand on the build.
Right.
You can do that.
I agree. I think the industry's kind of like settled down, and that's kind of like the norm now.
It's matured a little.
Yeah.
Well, I think
yeah,
it's
would
all
agree.
came with driving the cars. Like, you can't do it all
Exactly.
well if you plan to drive the car. Like, you can't make the chassis, make the brakes, make the wheels, unless you're Troy Heavy. But then
Yeah.
it's so damn expensive, and you can only do so many of those at a time. It's not sustainable for 90% of the people out there. That's not a sustainable option. So, and if you want to actually use the product and the best products that are out there in the most cost-effective way, you have to use, you know, Ring Brother hood hinges, roadster shop chassis, GM engine. You have to do those things. Otherwise, you know, the end result's probably not going to be that great.
Yeah.
But I think people miss when they hear that, they think that they've now become an assembler, and they're losing all of their personal touch. But
Well, there's a time and a place for it,
yeah,
right? Like, I don't think you're not going to see like the vet that Kindig built, the Riddler winner, which is just it's just a miraculous piece.
it's a once in a decade car. It's a once in a decade car.
There's a damn good reason it doesn't have like our chassis or your mirrors on it. Like, that's it's art. It's everything has to be created.
Right.
You know, you can't, in that environment, you can't do that. But for 99% of the other customer builds, it's so much more beneficial for your own business and for the customer as well. Like, that's, for us, that's the way to do it. You know, like, the very first thing I look at, we're building a truck right now, and it's an awesome truck, but I'm looking at it, and it's a square body, and it's gonna have bigger square body mirrors, not the like big truck mirrors,
Sport
not
mirrors.
the little mirrors, the sport mirrors is what we call them. And I'm like, man, they're a pain in the ass. They always fold in. We've got customers complaining right now that at speed, like highway speeds, they fold in. So the very first thing I do is I just shoot Troy a text. I'm like, Troy, you want to do something with these? Because he's the fucking mirror dude, you know? And you want to align yourself with the right people. You know, the right relationships and quality products. And at the end of the day, it makes for a better vehicle build. Because the time spent, like, could we build those? Probably, you know? But, like, that's what you do. Like, it would take us so much longer to do it. And that time could be spent elsewhere, like sorting out like the final ride quality or like something else, you know, that makes it a better product.
Yeah,
Tolerances on the tension ball for the. I mean, like there's a lot.
Yeah.
That yes could be figured out, just like you talked about a chassis.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah, it's not worth the resources that you have.
Because if we asked you to put a RS logo on them, you'd put it on there. So like, what? We
Nobody even know the difference.
Yeah. Point.
Right, there you go.
I got a different take on it. Going back 5-10 years, there was nobody building cool shit like on a production basis. So looking at that, well, you had to build it and you had to be unique and different. Now you're looking at it, and guys like you, guys like Jesse, guys like Ring Brothers are building kick-ass parts that are that top tier. So why build something when you can buy it and save all the time, save all the effort, allocate that to other areas on the car? You have the top builders in the country building limited production parts that you could put on your own car. I mean, you're getting Troy's style on your car.
Yeah.
Well, and at the end of the day, it doesn't knock the car down at all. Like when Classic Car Studio throws our mirrors on it, your chassis on it, it doesn't take anything away from those guys at all. Like they put it together, they made it all happen, they executed the plan. Like,
yeah. Who won Street Machine? Classic Car Studio.
Right.
You think anybody's talking?
Nobody's talking about.
We talk about. It's so cool that car that Classic Car Studio built that won that's so bitchin' happened to choose our chassis, happened to choose your mirrors.
Right.
But the public, and that's where, like you said, the Classic Car Studio doesn't look at that as like, man, I mean, can't believe we had to buy a chassis and we bought mirrors. No,
We could have won more with.
Right. We're one of the few industries that has that mentality, right? Like if you're building a house, like are you gonna mill
Make the faucets?
studs
Yeah.
and like machine the faucet? Because
grow
like
those trees.
everybody's got that fucking
Flowers.
faucet, dude.
no, the
Like
guy picks the best products.
Exactly. The boat industry. Like look at every boat. It's a recipe. There's the good products, right?
There's only what,
Like
two
the
or three
throttles,
motor
the gauges,
manufacturers in the whole
motor,
thing.
The drives. It's like all the different competitors out there are using those parts because they're the best parts.
Right.
And if you don't use those parts,
You have a half-ass boat.
yeah, then you have a half-ass fucking boat, and nobody's gonna buy it.
Right. Well, and to tie it all back to, you know, I've never been to the business conferences that you do, right? You call them conferences?
Call them classes, but
I think conference.
sounds
I
a
think
lot
conference.
better. You might be on to something.
You can
Conference
charge more.
Sounds like you got to dress up a little bit for it.
Conferences. It's not at Rogers Place or your shop though. Conferences at the Marriott. That's at the conference center. That's where you do conferences.
Convention center,
You
small
could charge
convention
more
center.
for a conference.
Yeah, but I will say, fuck off. Totally lost everything I was about to say.
You're talking about the conference.
Yeah,
The conference.
You talk about this in the business classes. There's you've got to know what you can do and what you're good at, right?
Yes.
And lean into that.
That's-
And not every customer is that once in a decade car that Kindig built, like the 12 Air, right? That's a rare thing. So don't talk Jamison. That's like, dude, I want this bitchin' ass 67 Chevelle. 67 or 66?
67.
67.
Best
I
year.
thought so. Yeah, 100%.
No,
Without a doubt.
100%.
Without
You're
a
a
doubt.
66 guy?
Dude,
You're so
we
wrong.
bought-
we had the
Two.
most devastating like a
67 's the
revelation
best.
of our lives with 66, 67 situation.
66
years
sucks.
ago.
67's great.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah. They were the best cars ever, and then it showed up. I'm like, oh, shit, that's a 66. The nose is different and doesn't have the good taillights.
Yeah, everything that makes a
send them my
67
way.
great.
Yeah, I don't want to derail it, but that like papaya orange one we did, that was the first muscle car we did, and we didn't know any better, and we found it and we bought it, and I don't think neither one of us paid attention, right?
No,
it was
we
just
thought they were the same
We
car.
figured it's the same car, and it shows up, and we were like, and we were ready to scrap it, right? We were ready to fucking scrap the car. It was a 66, and you didn't realize until you're like, oh, the fucking front end is all fucked up, and the taillights suck. You're like, but yeah, I made my peace with it.
No, you guys are 100% wrong.
No, a 66 is inbred. A 67 is like, that's a Riviera. The Riviera was the big butch dad that like bucked a Corvette, and they made a '67 Chevelle. Like, yeah, it's fun.
Interesting take
where-
on it.
Yeah,
I don't know if I follow that, but yeah.
just right now. I mean, 67's anyway. Where I was going.
Moving on.
We've
Moving
got
on.
a Survivor Gold 66.
Yeah, I might be into that. I
In-
probably would be.
In those business conferences, right? From here on out, there are conferences, and I think Roger's gonna. We're doing a.
Yeah, we've talked. I talked to Roger a lot
We're gonna do.
about that.
We're gonna do something special. We might have a podcast conference.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. At the
An
Marriott?
e-conference.
How much of that do you guys touch on? And just, I mean, obviously you're not going to give it away for free because you're charging for these. The ego part of taking yourself to the next level via a customer and knowing what their expectations are.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's probably the biggest thing is knowing what their expectations are, and then also knowing what your capabilities are, and then we talked about it already, giving them the full experience. I don't know how many times we hear about guys that have had killer cars built, but they just aren't happy. They spent too much money, or the car's not what they thought it was, or there was no communication with the builder throughout the process. And so giving the customer value through the experience of building the car, and finishing cars that are in your lane. Like if you're a young builder that doesn't have a lot of experience and you're going out trying to build the Ken Diggett Corvette, that's probably not going to end well for the customer or you. So trying to, build a car to get it to the finish line, because that's all the customer wants. They want that turnkey product. And if you try to give them, Brad's Firebird when he wants Jamison's Chevelle, that's they're not going to be happy, and chances are they're going to spend too much money, and providing them with the experience throughout the process. So it's expensive. We all know this. It's expensive to buy the parts. It's expensive to build the car, and so giving them a good experience so that way they feel that the value that you're creating for them is worth the money they're spending is probably the biggest key of that whole situation. That
makes sense. That's where I now remember kind of where I was going to go with that. You were talking about so many people were not making great products, right? And now a lot of the stuff they touch on, because most of the people that are in this business, small, medium to even large, didn't start it out because they were fucking business people, right?
Yeah.
Our industry is the only industry that so many people have got into because like, oh, this is fucking cool, right? Most of the housing industry, nobody's like, I'm gonna start building fucking houses because
that's another one that's kind of in line with this. Yeah.
Well,
a lot of
there's not
A lot of restaurants, good cook, turn into a restaurant.
Yeah.
Not to shit all over your.
But the best chefs work for a restaurant company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right? Because they're not businessmen.
Yeah.
The best home builders, right, have somebody running their fucking business.
Yes.
I'm not saying these people aren't passionate in their career.
Yep.
What I'm saying is our industry is very unique in the fact that there isn't business people running those passionate people, or for the most part, being able to help the financial side of the things, right? To be able to say, this is what you do. I know that you think you can build your own billet engine block, right? And put your stamp on it because that's how you're going to be, but that's not the right thing to do. And in addition to that, so many young and even builders that have been in it for a while think that this industry and path to success, notoriety, fame, whatever the thing is that they're chasing, is like a 1 or 2 lane highway, right? So they got to get in that lane, regardless of their speed, right? So staying in your lane is a thing, but they think that means that they have to like get in the slow lane. This is like a 900 wide lane interstate, right? Yeah. You can be in a lane and do your thing fucking awesome and get the thing that you're looking for. Make your customers happy, make a damn good fucking living, win some fucking awards, and have the people that matter know who the fuck you are.
I think the biggest thing, like obviously it's easy for me to say because we've won the awards, we've accomplished all the things that everybody wants to accomplish, but looking back now, I think the most important thing is when you have a customer that walks away happy.
Yep.
Regardless of what you build them, regardless if Jamison's cars never won. Well, maybe it has won an award, but not because of any
example.
Care
Perfect example.
Like his car, the Desire, he could give a shit less about going to a car show,
and you probably got more than you expected.
I did,
out of it.
And I honestly don't like it because then I got to go back the next day if I
Yeah,
gotta be there.
you gotta be there all day long.
And I'm like, I appreciate it, but like, I don't really care.
Troy, hey Troy, you mind sticking around for
Yeah,
this?
that's what happened last time.
I'm fixing to head back to AZ.
Yeah. But I mean, like, that's an example of like a guy that's gonna like maybe get you that next big build that is going to be that Ken Diggett Corvette, because you built him a driver car that he could care less about taking to the show, and he's happy with what you provided. The experience that you gave him was exactly what he was looking for. And so you got to know where you're at and what your lane is and what you're capable of doing.
How do you sell that to two different people? How do you sell that in the business conferences that you're doing, right? To guys that haven't. It's easy to say it when you've achieved it.
It is. It's real easy.
They're
to
like,
say it.
fuck you.
Yeah.
You've won those things. I ain't won them. I haven't experienced it. And then two, how do you sell it to the guys at the shop and say, this is a business, and we're going to do some cool ass fucking never been done before shit on some, and we're going to build a very nice fucking car to make this customer happy if you all guys want fucking paychecks next week.
That's the hardest part, because I've got a guy that works for me. His name's Carl. I'm gonna throw him out there under the bus.
No, another shout out.
Shout out.
Shout out and a
to
bus
Carl.
throw.
Carl cannot work on the cars that are just drivers. He's just.
I mean, to do with his mustache.
No, that's
Carl,
Clay.
Yeah,
That's
Clay's,
Clay.
Clay's the
Carl
mustache.
Carl has one gear and one quality and not even quality. One way to do things, and that's all the way. Like, there's no backing it off for him. And I've tried to put him on other jobs. It's like, Carl can't do it. If Carl does it, the thing's going to end up being a Riddler contender, even though it's supposed to be a driver. You know, so
Do you think the problem is like you stumbled over it on trying to phrase it, and that's the problem, is because quality, right? The definition of that in a fabricator's mind, that's the best out there, right? Quality means shit nobody's ever done before, and that's every single weld, tank rolled, metal finish both sides, the thing, and that's the only way. But there is quote unquote air quotes quality by corner welding, a square wheel tub, right?
Whoa, dude. So you want to hack it? So
You
we're
know-
just gonna hack it then? Okay.
You realize that you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yes, I
and
do. Yeah,
that
that's-
doesn't mean that it's not quality. The honestly, quality means structural integrity and everything there. Then there's the above and beyond. The above and beyond, which is great for the industry, but the above and beyond has become the standard for a lot of guys, and they think if you just go to quality, like we're just going to frame this house and build the foundation, right? You could mill your own, like you said, you could mill your own 2x4s.
You could hand plane them.
Yes.
And use stainless steel like countersunk screws and put them in by hand.
Right.
And then just blow through the drywall because you ran out of time.
Oh, you could. Well,
And the finished
I
product
think that
will
happens
look like
all
shit.
the time, though. That's the thing. Like, and then the problem is the guys that want to do that, and then they do that for the wrong customer, and then it implodes, and their business is no more. I think that happens a lot, or they're trying to do that, or they just eat all the time because they can't. Their customer is not going to pay for that, but they want to do it, and so it's just that balance of knowing.
but what do you do about Instagram?
I mean,
It's tough.
you just got to figure it out, I guess.
How
If
much
you got
of
a
that?
hot wife, if you got a hot wife, you just put her on there. Some guys do that.
Yeah, some guys do.
How
You
much?
want to give a shout out?
I ran out of shout-outs.
How much of that do you think comes from inexperience and not knowing, versus getting burned and then learning the hard way?
I mean, if you're building cars for a living, you've got some sort of ego, right? You want to be the best, or you want to, accomplish things that nobody else has or that few have. And I think that a lot of that has to do with just inexperience, and not knowing and trying to get there all in one shot rather than, I'm going to be the first to admit it. I threw all my cards on the table on one of the first builds that we did. I just got lucky and it panned out. I don't know that I would advise that for anybody that wants to have a financial future going forward in this business. I think the most important thing is, determining what your client wants and then giving them more, whether it's a little bit more or a lot more, however much more you can give them without going crazy.
I honestly think we're doing a better job than Roger could ever do. Yeah, now we're doing conferences. We're doing conferences. And
Other side of the coin on that, how many customers come in wanting that high-end good guys of the year
Some
car
people do.
for 150 grand?
Every one of them.
And the shop thinks that they can do it for that, completely overlooking the fact they're going to have 150 grand in parts before they pick up a tool.
I don't think they can do it
Yeah,
for 150
that-
grand. They just need the 150 grand. So let's just build a car.
I think that happens a lot. I mean, we that's a topic in our class that we go over. You know, we spec out a pretty basic car that has $120,000 to $150,000 worth of parts, and you know, like a Chevelle or something that's fairly simple to build. And we have everybody kind of go through and figure out, you know, you put down on a piece of paper what you think it's going to cost to build that car, and we're all building the same car. And then you look at the numbers, and you know, some guys have it right, some guys are way high because they probably just don't know, and most guys are low, and they think it's going to cost this, but they don't realize, well, hey, you're going to have 120 grand worth of parts in that real quick. And you know, that's a conversation. You know, that's always a huge conversation in the classes. How do you price work?
I'm guessing the vast majority of that comes from experience and lack of the financial side of looking at past bills to see that, oh, we had 300 grand in that one. I thought it was 150.
Right.
Yeah, having a body of work certainly helps.
Yeah.
Back to that badass chef working for a restaurant guy. Because that dude's going to take forever to make pasta or do whatever it is and fly in fucking little Italian baby goats to fucking shave down and do whatever. You know,
Never had
Why are we
shaved
shaving
goats.
goats?
What do you do?
What do you
What do you do with the goat after you shave it?
dude, I'm a fucking foodie. I go to some high-end fucking restaurants.
That must be.
I'll tell you about them sometimes.
Yeah, you and Epstein. Crowley.
But
shaved
that's
goat.
the thing. If you, the business side of somebody being like, hey, and that's the yin and the yang. Even you guys talked about it, whatever. You're like, fucking 36 new products at SEMA this year. You're like, whoa, hold on. We got the boxes to figure out. We've got the E's we need to do, and then we got the next new product. All that works out. When you mentioned, you know, if you're in this, everybody's got that sort of an ego. Even the customers, you know, they're coming to this to spend something. You know, you've got ego's not a bad thing. I'm tired of ego being, you know, so stigmatized on the thing. There's a good ego and there's a bad ego. There's wanting to win. You know, when did you start realizing it, and when did the curtain get pulled back? I use that analogy a lot. When did you see that, you know, it was a little short man pulling the strings, you know, see the wizard behind the Oz, and start realizing you might have been chasing things that you shouldn't have been chasing, and get focused on the business?
I mean, when you're broke, it's pretty easy to start focusing on the business. I mean, you know, when you're building good stuff and you're still scraping by, you know, you probably ought to start thinking about, what am I doing wrong here?
Well, there had to be a moment. Everybody's got that moment. Everybody's got the moment.
aha moment.
The like, man, you know what? I'm chasing acceptance and not
I think
success.
I think it's a confidence thing, and I think that's what we try to preach in the classes. Like, obviously, if you're not doing good work, you shouldn't have confidence, and you got to kind of be that judge. But once you get the confidence to know that you're doing quality stuff, you're selling quality parts, you're building quality vehicles, you're getting stuff done, it works, you've got happy customers, then I personally started feeling like, okay, maybe I can monetize this a little bit more than I am. I mean, the big thing is for me is when you lose guys that you shouldn't lose working for you because you're not paying them enough, you know, and that's when it's like, okay, well, the guy got a good car for a decent price and we didn't make a lot of money and my guys aren't making enough money, and it's time to start taking care of the crew and taking care of myself and still giving the customer what they want. Maybe they have to spend a little bit more, but you know, that's just life and business, you know. So I think that was, you know, as you start accomplishing things and getting to the goals that you want to get and feel confident in your body of work, it allows you to feel more comfortable charging.
I derailed you earlier when you were talking about your fabricator. How do you deal with that
Which, Carl?
on the levels?
I
went off on a tangent and I didn't let you finish.
Most of the guys understand and know, like, hey, this is a driver qual. This is not a driver car. But Carl only has one.
It's a Riddler car.
It's balls to the walls. So Carl did a huge portion of the work on the 59 Impala, And so if you turn that car upside down, you'll just see all the little details that he did everywhere that
Car's
nobody
fucking
is
phenomenal.
ever going to know. But
You'd fuck up the roof if you turn it upside down.
maybe. But yeah, so he just isn't allowed to work on the cars that, that's just kind of the bottom line. I mean, he'll work on them a little bit here and there, but it's not like you just say, okay, Carl, go build that driver car. Because if by the time you're done, it's not a driver car anymore.
But you don't have, the other guys aren't looking at Carl and being like, well, fucking Carl gets to do all the cool shit. And now I'm on a driver car, but like I want to do the work on this driver car to the level that Carl's doing it.
No, because everybody works on every car. So there's not like, Clay's not working on just the driver car. Clay will work on the Impala as well. Everybody will work on every single car, but Carl just isn't allowed to really work on. And
So
I
Carl's-
shouldn't say that he's not allowed to work on the other cars because he does work on them a little.
You just can afford to let him to do.
He just does areas where it's like, okay, you really can't get carried away with this. You're not putting a mini tub in it where you're going to try to pole max every flat section of.
You're not
sheet
letting
metal.
him design and fabricate
A trans tunnel-
brackets to hang an AC box.
No. 100%. That exactly. There you go.
Right.
He's not doing the simple things like hanging an AC box, mounting a shifter, mounting catch cans, stuff like that, because he would get carried away.
He a dimple die guy or a tip and die guy.
He is not a dimple die guy.
Okay, I'm just trying to figure.
He's
Everybody's
probably
got their
more
guy.
of a machine your own like abstract shape dimple die.
He is the guy that
and
will
then
make
dimple
any
it.
possible die for the pole max and somehow
One-time use.
Oh yeah, he loves the one time. No, he'll. That's the one thing good about him is he'll cut up another die and use it again for something else.
Resourceful.
I love the custom profile one-time use pull max dies.
Yeah, we've had those conversations in the shop before.
Yeah. This one's to do the reveal before the reveal, but this one right here does the reveal after the reveal.
And man, the bottom of the seat is going to appreciate the shit out of that.
Yeah, the bumper bracket. It's going to look awesome.
You can't even find the brackets for the vintage airbox. Yeah, I do. I see them. They're super sweet.
Getting back in the machine stuff a little bit, are you looking to do any custom stuff for other shops, like your own logos on things, or are you staying to just production parts that you want to produce? Did I ask a question I maybe shouldn't have?
It looks like there's a differing opinion.
We have those all the
Between-
time.
yeah.
So
Somebody wants a dog and somebody wants a child. It looks like we've got a problem in the family.
Hey, maybe we can get both.
I mean, we've talked about it.
Winter Nationals.
We've definitely talked about it. I think we're trying to stay more in the higher production number for parts, but there is still possibility that we could do something. I know that's like a super political answer, like, hey, we want this, but we could also do that. I think it just comes down to, for us to put a product out that we can stand by and mass produce is what we're kind of geared towards with InTek. I mean, maybe say if you think differently, but
There's nothing wrong with that answer.
yeah, no.
The
But we would potentially entertain conversations around it. It's just the amount of
Yes.
time that it would take to custom make, R&D, develop products for people. A lot of times they don't understand what that looks like. And
you've
they-
got to be selective on what you're going to do custom and for the right thing,
Right.
just like anybody else would. Because you could call up Ferrari right now as you, right? And I mean, I like you, but
Right.
you're fucking nobody, right? So
Ooh.
you
Yeah,
call up
100%.
to Ferrari and be like, guess what?
No tequila for Josh.
I don't have a fucking purchase history, right? But I want to do a custom whatever. They're gonna be like, not interested,
Right.
You know, fucking Pharrell Williams calls with Louis Vuitton and says, I want to have this one-off thing, and we're gonna do. Then all of a sudden they're super interested in doing it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You're going to allocate resources, your own resources, the shop's resources, your employees' resources to do something out of the norm, a little custom, a little thing. You've got to be selective. You only have so much to go around. You need to be selective on how you can go. Somebody calls and be like, hey, I want you to put, my shop logo on a mirror, right? That's probably a different answer than I've got this design that I sketched out, right? Can you build me a couple of sets of these? It's two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I would kind of compare it. So to back up on that,
You're something to me. I'm just not,
Appreciate you.
That was mean.
that was harsh.
Oh, was it?
Came all the way here from fucking Scottsdale.
That's something he would say to you.
Yeah, and I know you really well, and I'm not afraid to hurt your feelings.
So that's how much I respect him, because
Oh, I don't get
we're on that
offended.
level.
I'm not offended. I don't get offended easy. I promise. I wouldn't be here if I did.
Honestly, you should be offended by thinking he's thinking
I'm
you're
offended?
weak.
Yeah,
I
right?
know. Fuck, dude. Fuck him.
Yeah, right?
What's the deal?
Nice
How about
spin.
that, Jeremy?
Nice fucking spin.
Fucking slippery like a dolphin.
So to back up on that, the answer is we would rather not. However, we would,
Yeah.
if the opportunity presented itself.
But
now,
the problem with that is, though, a lot of people don't understand the cost involved in making something one-off. And you get these guys that aren't builders that know what that cost is and that process, and you get just a consumer that's like, hey, I want you to make me XYZ, and you're like, okay, well, it's going to be this amount of hourly for R&D, and then we got to run it, and we got to make sure it fits, and you're going to have, X amount of dollars in it. And they're like, whoa, your mirrors are only $1,500. Why is it so expensive? And it's like, well, we've already created them, we've already researched and developed them, we've already produced them. Like, that's why the price is where it's at. And if you want something one off, you have to know that you're going to pay for it. So, not to cut you off, but I feel like a lot of times customers don't always understand that, and they're like, well, why is this going to be like $5,000? And it's like, well, the product that you're wanting is going to be elaborate, so you might not know that up front.
yeah, and I mean, if it's something that we look at and we say, okay, this is something that we could potentially turn into a sellable product, then we would potentially consider it. But a lot of times that's not the case. I mean, it's no different than you guys with your chassis, where like I bring a 55 Mercury up here and you're going to charge me to scan it. And now I'm like, okay, well, now every time you sell a 55 Mercury chassis, am I going to start getting some money back on that scan?
What?
Well, no, of course not.
Dude.
Yeah.
Why would you even think that?
But I mean, it's the same
Yes.
thing. Like if you want to pay us to R&D a product and we decide that we're going to do it, and we manufacture it for you as a one-off, if we decide that later on we're going to turn that into a product, then yeah, we're good with it. But as of right now, we're not doing that. So if you want that product, we will certainly make it for you if you're willing to spend the money.
Right.
And
Because I think most people don't understand what went into just doing this. That
Right.
we get it fairly regular. Oh, I saw you did that emblem here. Can you do one?
Just
for
change
me?
the font.
right.
Like,
Oh yeah.
So that's a designer to design it, an engineer to draw it up, a machinist to tool path it, then you machine it, then you flood fill it, then you sand it, then you package it and send it out. You probably have an additional 40, 50, 60 hours in it. And then you tell them your hourly
No,
rate.
but it's
and you're
just like that, but says different words.
yeah, but then that's
Right.
a $6,000 emblem. And nobody wants to pay that, but they have no idea what goes into
Right.
just changing that one little thing.
And there are some things that we've talked about with some customers that have approached us about doing some parts for like a Monte Carlo or
G-body stuff.
G-body
we get a
stuff.
lot of G-body stuff.
And it's one of those things where it's like, we'll do it because there is a market for it, we believe, but we also need to know that there's going to be like a minimum order quantity once we do design it. So we're talking about, instead of doing one-off things, we'll consider new designs and new parts, but we also need to know that those people have other people interested in that. So it's like, hey, can we get 5 to 6 people that would be potentially in line to buy it? And if so, then that gives us a little more confidence to go forward in producing it. Yeah. But versus the one-off stuff, I mean, that's just, it's a one-off answer.
Yeah.
It changes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one-off stuff.
To talking about the one-off stuff, not to derail too bad, right? You gonna follow me?
I guess, hold on, back up.
Yeah.
Because, like, I guess our one-off is going to be probably different than, like, say, Jesse Greening or Evod. Like, they're doing, like, one-off stuff for you. Like, our one-off would be, like, we'll do it if we see a potential to monetize it later on and sell it as a production part.
Right.
That's
Right.
our one-off. If it's just a onesie time, we're not really interested.
Right, because you're just not. Oh, that's Jesse.
Yeah.
Jesse can do that.
Yeah.
Call him.
Yep.
Who's that?
Are you
Yeah.
working with any other builders? Like they might have a product designed for their car, and then you can turn that into a product and kind of work with them, almost as a collab, as the cool kids are saying nowadays.
we have talked about this several times.
Dude, we're collabing right now.
Yeah.
Like we're collabing.
Yeah.
There's a collab going
Oh,
on.
this,
I
the
think this
collab
might,
juices
this,
are
this
thick in
might
here.
be,
Talked already.
this might be the first collab, but I think that's something that we've talked about that we would like to do, where we have builders that have designed, came up with an idea, and they want to, they want to have a product that they can sell, and we can, manufacture it for them, and then they can sell it and profit off it as well. I think that's something that we've talked about that we would potentially like to get into doing.
I saw something the other day that said if you have to end what you just said with "as the cool kids say," you're using it wrong. Like if you have to be like as the cool kids say,
Go
Sorry.
fuck yourself.
no, not a shot at you. Just So
I think it's probably a big market for that because there's so many shops out there that design a one-off cool piece that could be used, but they don't have the resources to turn that into a product. So if you guys are going down that path,
Yeah, it's definitely something we've talked about. And we've been busy with our own stuff, and it just hasn't came to fruition yet. But it's something that we certainly have talked about, and hopefully we can spark something up with these products that we're going to work on with you guys.
Hell yeah.
You mentioned Jesse Greening, right? We've already
Who?
Yeah, I know the guy. He's down there, Jesse. It's the only,
Uncle
it's the only
Jesse?
Jesse
Uncle
in the
Jesse,
hot
yeah.
rod shop. In the hot rod.
Yeah,
shop.
Uncle Jesse and cousin Mikey.
So cousin Mikey, right?
And then Dad.
Shout out to cousin Mikey.
You talked about doing custom stuff, right? Do
Not
you
for
think,
cousin Mikey.
No.
Well, listen, hear me out, right? We all know that by the time cousin Mikey even buys a chassis,
First off, poor
We're gonna
Jesse
be-
that's got to build
I
this
know,
thing.
I know.
That's
That's
he's
why
really the one getting the short end of
I
the stick
think
of this
I
whole
think we've
operation.
really got to step up and help Jesse out, right? So,
I think we should start a GoFundMe.
Definitely.
I think are you on the hook right now to build cousin Mikey a custom set of mirrors. Now, knowing that by the time he gets that thing rolling, technology is going to be so progressed.
Yeah.
I'm saying instead of putting the traditional mirror on the side where you look back and basically see the past, let's put a mirror on there that you look in and you see the future.
Ooh, I like
Right?
that.
Because we're talking about 2060 by the time that thing rolls around. I mean, we're talking about Grandpa Mikey, not it's not cousin Mikey anymore. OBS, and you can basically look
OBS is going to be like
Tell
a
me.
Model T.
Right.
InTek OTTO, see in the future mirrors.
We need to start developing them now.
We'll get on that.
Yeah, use modern technology.
Yeah.
Maybe we
It'll
can-
basically be like a windshield, but it'll be on the side so you can see what's coming.
Maybe we should make it for his FRC.
You guys haven't heard about his FRC, I'm sure.
I don't know what this is about.
I gotta step out for a sec.
You need to
Little boys' room?
ask
That's
cousin
the
Mikey. Is he coming on the
Toyota?
podcast?
I don't know. We've talked about it.
I don't know if he got enough airtime.
I don't know.
He hasn't bought a chassis yet, so he doesn't get to come on.
When he comes on, you'll have to ask him about the FRC. I'm not going to spoil that for him.
Okay. All right, we'll save it. We're supposed to be doing something down at Jesse's new restaurant.
Nice.
Restaurant and brewery. We're going to do something down there. We're going to probably do a reunion, like get the gang together.
we could sit on the new stools that cousin Mikey also may have paid for in addition to.
Oh, yeah.
mountain bike.
Right. So we're going to go down and see
Where Mikey's money went?
Jesse's new brewery / cousin Mikey's chassis deposit. Oh.
Josh, you like
We're
tequila?
talking about doing something special.
Do you like tequila?
Yeah, I drink tequila.
Would you like a little tequila?
Yeah, I'll
This
drink
stuff's
a little
really
bit.
good.
Yeah.
So this is Dos Artes. We found it in Phoenix.
It's two Arties, isn't it?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Good for you. I mean, you know a lot of Spanish. Were you from Mexico?
I've lived a little everywhere.
We found it out in Phoenix a few years back at Costco, surprisingly. And it was like, I mean, I don't even want to tell you how much it cost at Costco because it was cheap. And it was probably, well, the one we were getting was the Extra Añejo. We loved it. And probably about 2 years ago,
a fucking
Costco stopped
great
carrying
bottle.
it. And you can basically no longer find it. And if you can, it's up there now. So only thing I
Really?
can find locally is the Añejo, which is still good, but I think the Extra Añejo is even smoother.
Oh, it's more anejo.
It's more añejo. It's extra. Yeah. But it's still very good. But I'm a tequila guy. Didn't used to like tequila until I
Slide
met
that
my wife.
his
But
thing.
her family are big tequila people, and I hate tequila because Jose Cuervo had a bad time with
You had
me
a
in
bad
college.
college,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then she introduced me to some actual good tequilas, and
That's the thing.
right.
I was always the same way. I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
oh, I don't do fucking tequila. And Phil's like, I never did either, but you got to drink good tequila. I was
Right.
like, it's still probably just like more expensive
Yeah.
of the same shit. It's a completely different liquor.
100%.
It's a completely different liquor.
And the hangover, well, there really isn't a hangover
Yeah,
with the
so
good
you're
stuff.
almost like, no hangover,
Right.
wake up
It's just
fine the next
clean.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
It's like saying that a McDonald's cheeseburger is a steak.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
just because they got meat in them, like bad tequila and good tequila could not be
I
any
don't know if I ever
different.
gotten alcohol poisoning from McDonald's cheeseburger.
But yeah, shout out to my wife, Lauren, for the tequila because she got me into it. So
Dos Artes.
Dos Artes. Shout out to Dos Artes.
If I could find some two Artie tequila,
no, that's got really smooth. Got that like kind of vanilla flavor, but not over like the fake sweets like some of them are.
Right.
That's really good.
Yeah, it almost kind of reminded me of like a whiskey or a bourbon with some of that sweetness and the kind of some of the vanilla notes in it. And
That's where
oh, man.
I like a tequila that's a little bourbony, peppery, and smoky. And if you get me on that, then it's just good.
Yeah.
It's clean.
100%. You want some?
Try the one.
You might as well throw me some. Just give me a little.
Just a little
It's
taste.
good.
The one that John Jackson got us at Triple
the
Crown last
tequila?
year.
Which one is that?
It's the Don Huerte.
It's either on the floor or up there.
Yeah, might as well. I'll partake.
That shit's good. Really good. It's
Beautiful
it's
looking
amazing bottle. And I love how the fact he says that you used to be able to get it all over the place, and now you cannot. So try something that you can never replicate.
Well, you can get it now. You just can't get the extra añejo.
Can't get the extra añejo.
You're getting the less añejo.
bottle. That's a good looking bottle.
It's a great bottle. Dos
That's like
Arias.
Añejo Light.
Correct. Yeah, like kind of like Troy Light.
I'm gonna right here on the podcast. I'm taking a picture of it because I'll forget.
That is very good.
I'm glad you guys like it. Love tequila. Big tequila guy.
I also got Phil in the background.
Makes it better.
Yeah, Phil made us a believer in the tequila. I had a hard time. I still had that like taste of warm Jose Cuervo the next morning from like laying in the yard next to the pool, wondering how the hell I got here.
Yeah.
As a high school kid.
Contemplating drinking the pool because you're so thirsty.
Yeah, exactly.
Give me
And
water.
that stuck with me for like 25, 30 years.
Yeah.
You know? And when you drink good tequila, I mean,
I got to use the restroom now.
it's phenomenal.
Oh, damn it. Gonna start a rotation.
Yeah,
Broke the seal.
Yeah, we could just just shut it down for a
Pump the
minute.
brakes.
All right.
And we're back.
We're back.
Everybody's relieved. What happened to your glasses? Your glasses are fucked up.
Really?
You got like a stain in the lens. I'm having a hard time looking at it.
I apologize. You should. The new dog likes to lick in the face.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
I think it's permanent. It's like in between the. Oh, there. Now you got it off.
Oh, I couldn't even see it.
Really? Much better.
Yeah, the new dog is quite the lover.
What kind of dog?
French bulldog.
Yeah, another second
knew
one.
it.
Did you?
I didn't even know you had one. Period. But
Yeah,
I just, you
this
just
is
look
the
like a
second
French bulldog
He's
guy.
a French guy.
Not me. I'm not a French bulldog guy. My wife and daughter are French bulldog people, and now I have become a dad. They're great dogs. Yeah, they are. Love them.
They are pretty cool. I will say.
You haven't got to see Cash yet. You need to come over and see Cash.
Yeah.
He's I don't know where we're going.
Yeah,
with that,
dogs
but
like you for some reason. Fucking George.
I'm a dog guy.
George goes crazy.
Big
I'm a-
dog guy.
for you.
I'm a
Love
big-
dogs.
yeah.
No cats. Sorry if you got cats.
Yeah, fuck cats.
Yeah, cats suck.
There's only one guy here that's got a cat.
I don't have a cat. My wife has a cat.
Cat lives in your home. The house that you pay for, a cat dwells inside of it.
Yeah, you're right.
Your money paid for a cat,
It's true.
so you're
There's
technically
a lot of fucking money too.
You're a cat owner.
technically you own a cat.
We've already worked through this. It's like mostly tiger, so it's
Two things: the cat, out of cats, if you're gonna have a cat, that's the only legal tiger you can own. That's a badass cat. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
I like to give you all kinds of shit as much as you give me. It's a badass cat, and the cat hates you, which also makes it that much better. He can't stand you.
I know. I fucking hate. I kind of secretly I hate it. Like I want to pet him every once in a while.
He wants nothing to do with you.
I asked his kids, Charlie and Wyatt, I go, how's Kevin doing? Kevin's an ornamental cat.
Yeah,
An ornamental cat.
yeah, he's just strictly a showpiece. He's like a show car. You don't fucking drive it. You know, you just like, it's just there. in the gar-
I just like to
in
have
the
a lot of
garage.
nice things
Yeah,
around.
Looks fucking great. Things all like raked out. It's fucking low to the ground. It's cool looking. It's,
So what's
Got a
what's
baby giraffe coming.
what's next for InTek OTTO? What's coming? What do people need to keep their eyes?
It's funny you should ask.
It's not funny. It's just kind of what we do. Like we're fucking professionals, dude. Like what is fucking?
oh, here
This,
it is.
this could
We
be
have
a
fucking
debut, worldwide debut.
Look at this.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so these are our
It's a
new
funny looking mirror.
Nice.
Yeah, these are our new door
Zoom
handles.
in on that.
So to keep in line with kind of like the classic series, we designed, and by we I mean Troy, designed this classic style door handle that could kind of be on like a Survivor style build.
That's what a hand looks like on it.
Looks nice. Am I cutting in and out?
No, you're good.
Good. Oh,
Yeah.
it's probably my thing over here.
You see that?
But yeah, so this is kind of in the line of door handles that we're looking to develop again with our classic series. So all machine, just like our other door handles. We'll have a provision for electric latch as well on there, so micro switch option.
That one's got the micro switch in it, so you can see the little difference in the throw of the button. So if you're running the modern like GM latches or Mercedes or whatever, that'll power right into your latch.
2 questions. When are they going to be available? Number 2, are you going to be doing driver and passenger?
I'll take number 2 on that, Troy. You take number 1.
The professional line of
I
questioning.
would say
you get here is-
we're about 30 days out. So
30 days out.
SEMA,
So
SEMA,
SEMA,
right after
you can
SEMA.
take orders.
Yeah.
And we will also be, I guess, am I allowed to debut or say that we're going to Dino's?
Yeah.
So yeah, Dino's Get Down. We're going to have these there available for purchase or order, whatever. We'll have like a little vendor booth set up. So
Fucking A.
come by Dino's, check us out. We'll have some of our products out there. Hold them, feel them, understand, the quality that goes into these products, and give us a.
If they say, if they come up to you at Dino's, right? You're at Dino's, you got your booth set up, you're selling these. If they come up and say, I heard about you guys on the podcast, what kind of discount are you willing to offer on the fucking door handles right now?
I'm passing that off to the admin guy.
Man, I feel like that was teed up, but
There'll be
yeah,
one person.
yeah,
Dude,
one
you don't have
person.
to worry about it. You're not giving away hardly anything.
minimal effect to the bottom line.
Well, no,
T-shirt.
we actually did have a promo code that we made for this podcast. So oil, oil and whiskey is the promo code. Everybody knows how to spell, hopefully, but OILANDWHISKEY.
Spell out and.
AND.
Nice.
And yeah. So oil and whiskey,
What does that get you?
10% off. Anything.
Fucking A.
yeah.
Oil and whiskey. Dude, you're going broke after this. I'm telling you.
He's either going broke or getting rich.
Yeah, you raise or die
this
trying,
could
right?
this could take off.
Tens of orders.
Dude, that's
Tens
a
of-
great. That's a great product. It really
It
is.
is.
Yeah, shaved handles are clearly a thing of the past. In cars you use, you want something there. Factory handles are like, you always want something else. It's right in line with the mirrors. It's a great addition, man. It's
And that'll,
little bit
those will
sleeker.
be, those will be a direct bolt on for like a Camaro, Chevelle, anything that has that style handle. But it's also pretty universal too. So anybody that's got like a flat door, even a contoured door, just pretty simple cutout. And
so it'll
bolt on.
be you'll order these as a direct fit. Like if you've got a Camaro,
If you've
Chevelle,
got a
Camaro, Chevelle, all
Camaro-
those are they?
Yeah,
How many
there's
of those
there's a
handles are
lot
the
of the
same?
GM stuff, Camaro,
crosses over.
Chevelle, Nova, that all cross over.
Okay.
So it'll be a direct bolt on for all those.
And that one works with all the factory door internals.
Yep. So that'll push the factory paddle, and then the micro switch option obviously doesn't need to push the factory paddle.
Yeah, you could use that in custom applications. I mean, I'm ready to do it in my bathroom right now on the shower door.
Oh, yeah.
Dude,
10% off.
oil.
Get it, but you only need
Oil.
one.
And that's a machine finish that we got on them right now. There'll be a polished version of that.
You polishing all that stuff in house?
Absolutely not.
You've been
that's a
you've been to
lie.
business conferences before.
That falls under the insurance
Yeah,
liability.
you find the guy
section.
that knows how to polish stuff
And
good,
pay him to
and
polish it.
efficiently.
That
Yeah.
thing with that hook on the end, that sucker, one guy turns that the wrong way, that
Oh,
thing's
yeah.
coming right back
Oh
at you.
man,
Yikes.
it's
Do you have those on the
7,000
cars
miles an hour.
already?
What's that?
Do you have those on any cars? To see what they look
We
like?
we will have we not right now. We have them on a Chevelle in our shop that we're building. It's not obviously not finished, but they'll be on his Chevelle at Dino's and a couple other cars that we're doing right now.
Dude, this has been a. Go ahead.
Oh, it's been great. But, how about like square body trucks? We do a little adapter because we've got electronic latches, but we're using the remainder of the factory handle. That'd be a great piece.
Yeah.
Throw it
Yeah.
in the lineup, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got
Another
we got-
collab?
well, we got
Wait.
it's
Dude,
another
we're
collab. It's
dropping
another
we're
collab.
dropping shit
Yo,
left
we've
and
got,
right.
We've got
But you guys are using
two
the-
crew cabs right now and one coming down the pipeline.
That's
right?
8 handles.
That's 12 handles, right?
That's the
Oh, okay.
you, need
Yeah.
you guys are
The
running
third
the
one.
GM
Yeah. If you
latch
wanna
in
count that.
Yeah, the modern.
Yeah, we're
stuff.
using the GM latch
So
and
you have
then-
to make an adapter to push down to a button.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But having the complete handle would be kind of nice.
Yeah.
Just like finish, done, boom,
Yep.
in there.
Again, solving problems you didn't know you had.
Exactly.
Dude, right here, live. Oil
We,
and
we
whiskey,
should have
spell
had
it out.
we should have had
Exactly.
some customer call-ins like to solve their problems.
We could drunk dial customers.
We did it before. It was
call
finished,
Mikey.
right?
We could call Nike.
No,
he's
we
not a
don't have
customer.
enough-
He's
we
not
got, we got dinner reservations too. We don't have enough time.
Yeah, we would. But we got dinner.
Yeah. And for part two,
Part 2.
I'll take that. Yes, they come in pairs, driver and passenger.
All right, good.
There you go.
I was hoping.
You know.
I mean,
What
you never
about
know.
for 67 to 72 Suburbans? That's a
Troy
3-door.
question.
Oh, you're gonna buy 4.
Yeah, because anybody that knows what they're doing is going to convert that.
You got to put one on the. You got to put one on the back.
It's a fake door.
Yeah, 4 would get you done, right? Or is there 2 on the back?
If you got barn doors, I think it's 2.
And if there was 1 and then the other one for
Who
interior.
cares? Those are
release.
terrible looking vehicles.
Good point.
Except for Randy's. That one's cool. We did one. It was pretty cool.
All right. So we got standard questions.
Oh boy.
You've done it before.
Yeah, you've been through the ringer once.
But you get, but you know what? Because you
You
come
get
in and
a
do it
get out of
again,
jail free
you get a complete redo.
See, I
Courtney
Or
came
mix
on
them
again.
I wasn't prepared. For
You got
this.
something
I
else?
thought this was a no longer we do this thing.
There's only been Chris Jacobs and Courtney Hansen that have done dose times each. You're now the 3rd person that's done dose times.
Wow.
I'm not a TV star though.
Call them dose arties. That's 2 arties.
Mix it up. Once you shoot from the hip, you got to have something.
Okay.
You can't hit him with the standard stuff. Jamison for sure. You know.
I've never asked Troy his best SEMA story.
Oh, I don't want to do that one. Pass that to Jameson.
No, I think you do need to do it. If
We
you
got
if
a
you say
pocket
I don't want to do it,
Yeah.
you don't have a favorite SEMA story,
I don't know that I have a good SEMA story.
then that means
And we're going to make one this
What
week.
about the
feel
bad
like
SEMA story?
My good SEMA story was the Roadster Shop party 2019. Was that the last time you had it besides last year?
Yeah, that was, yeah.
That
yeah, we
was-
did
we had a
18,
little gap
19, 22, and 23.
I don't have any. I need a crazy SEMA story this year.
Hey, well,
Well, I think that might be a good giveaway, right? Maybe we collab on that. Maybe it's a pair of handles. It's a Roadster Shop swag bag. It's a Roadster Shop chassis discount. Create the best SEMA story
For Troy.
post Roadster Shop party.
Okay.
Like I want to see how
I get
or
where you're
at.
going.
You know what? I want people to like hang it out out there, right?
Oh, yeah.
so
Leave it all on the
I
field.
like
I think there might
Yeah.
be a liability.
Leave it all on the field.
what you're
For off-road
saying,
use only.
what you're
We're covered.
what you're proposing
You're picking
is
up what I'm putting down.
yeah,
right?
we're doing SEMA, and we're doing the best on RS party Thursday night at Jewel. Go to roadstershop.com/SEMA to get your tickets, right? And as of right now, we're very close to being sold out. So you're saying go there
Yeah. And make it memorable.
throughout the
Let
week.
people know you're there.
Let's maybe make the memorable part after the party. Go to the
Late- or
party
very late in the party.
very late in the party. So you're saying after that, after everybody's week-long SEMA experience,
Yeah.
they need to email or direct message us on Instagram, Oil and Whiskey, and tell the story.
Of what happened after.
And we're
the
gonna
after
pick
party.
we're gonna pick the best story, and we're gonna just give something epic. Right now we don't know what it is,
But it'll
but
be
it's a
good.
collab between InTek OTTO and Roadster Shop to give something fucking epic if they can give us the best story.
There we go.
I
We're
think you
in
need
for
to
that.
take Troy with.
Oh,
If you can snap if you can prove that Troy was with you in this set,
That's
bonus points. Bonus points.
He's light. You can carry him. You're not bringing around Troy heavy.
All right. Well, then take SEMA out of it. What's the two of you? What's your best car event experience?
oh man, I got that. I mean,
Go ahead.
ahead.
Ben. No,
but
I don't have one yet.
I would say I don't know what year that was. The last Barrett Jackson road tour we did.
22.
Yeah, 22.
This was Vet Boys.
Vet Boys. We had what else did we have? Vet Boys.
We had the Cornhuskers.
Cornhuskers.
We had the Cowboys. The Brokeback Cowboys.
Brokeback Cowboys.
What else we have?
Been there.
Yeah, you guys
We
did a
had the
good
Denim.
job.
Yeah, we-
Denim
We're
Dan.
seeing the pictures. We weren't there.
Yeah.
but
Denim
I saw the
Dan.
pictures.
Denim Dan.
Yeah, we had uniforms for every day.
Yeah.
That was a good time.
Road tours it doesn't get any better than
It
that.
doesn't.
It doesn't. They're
That's
so
a
fun.
fun time.
And like the road tours are right up my alley. Because again, I don't really want to go sit at a car show. I want to go out and drive and beat and just
Yeah.
have fun in the cars. That's what it's all about.
Favorite car movie?
I thought about that. Last time I was on, I said Hollywood Nights, which is still one of my favorites. Kind of got me into cars. But another one I thought about was The Great Gatsby.
Oh,
Never seen it.
there's
There's some cars in it.
yeah, I get you.
This
I
is-
like the vibe.
This is a tough one for me because
Not big on
obviously
cars.
Not big on
Big
them, but
cars,
there's
though.
big cars, in
huge
it.
cars.
This is like
The
the
biggest.
biggest. Or what are we talking?
Yeah, it's like
It's just
like
Duesenberg
Rolls.
cords.
You're talking about the newer one though, right?
Yeah.
With DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a like
The one you watch
futuristic.
when you don't read the book for the book report.
I never read it.
Yeah. It's good. It's good. It's a cool vibe.
It's got
Cool alternate reality.
It's a tough one for me because I don't know how far to go back as a favorite, right?
Corvette
'Cause
Summer.
Yeah, that's it. But like, when like younger, it's like, Cannonball Run, Smokey the Bandit, and then you talk about like Dukes of Hazzard TV show, and it's like, oh man, that's what got me into like the car movie stuff. And then
Yeah, we must be really close to the same age.
same. Yeah, for sure. And then
He's
it's like,
aged way better than you.
obviously, thanks, Jeremy. Appreciate that.
Don't argue it. Probably made better life choices.
I mean, more recently, Ford versus Ferrari is, great movie. I gotta say, like, I was a tuner guy back in the day, so Fast and the Furious was always, high up there for me. Rush was great. I don't know if I could pick a favorite.
Okay, that's fair. Now if you could only watch one car movie for the rest of your life, you couldn't watch any of the other car movies. You had to pick one that anytime you wanted to go watch a car movie, it was only this one.
Gone in 60 Seconds.
Really?
Love Gone in 60
All right,
Seconds.
it'd be Cannonball Run for me.
That's a good one.
You know the one that nobody ever talks about, but it's the most like relatable. Like it's the only one I've ever watched that I wanted to be in that and experience that thing. Judge Dredd.
Oh,
Super relatable.
yeah.
Well, now it is. Think about it. It's like all with the
Yeah.
EV shit. Those were future cars, right? And then there's a damn Boss 429 Mustang, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Boss 429.
Been a while.
Yeah, obviously.
That was Snipes and Stallone, right?
Yeah, it's a super cool movie, so I'm sure you haven't seen
And
it.
you were a big Stallone fan.
Huge Stallone fan. Probably the biggest. I might be Sylvester Stallone's #1 fan. It's quite possible.
There's no way to quantify it, but
Yeah.
absolutely. Let's go with that.
Right. But that's pretty damn good.
It's a good one. It's a good one. I mean, it doesn't have three tits like.
It's got 3
Total
seashells
Recall.
though. It's got the 3 seashells.
Oh, yeah.
Has anyone figured out how those work yet?
So you have seen it.
MDKs.
Yeah.
Murder, death, kill.
Next up, from a business standpoint, and I want both of you guys to answer this. If you could you can pick. You want to give advice to anybody that wants to get into this industry and make a living, or you want to give advice to somebody that is in this industry already and trying to take it to the next step. You pick one and then pick the advice you're going to give them. That's off the hip right there. That's creative.
Yeah, it rolled off like it was rehearsed too. It sounded good.
No, that's right now.
Man, I would say for people who want to get started, the hardest part is believing in yourself. I know oftentimes people think like, oh, I can do that until it's time to actually do it. But invest in yourself, take, the conferences if need be, but find a way to invest in yourself and your time and then take the leap and believe in yourself. Because if you don't ever do that, you're never going to get started.
And I would say
We've changed the name from business classes to conferences,
It's a
by
conference
the
now.
way. I'm just full blown. We've changed
I've already
it.
called Roger.
Roger's gonna love that. I would say same kind of echo that. Like anybody that's already in business, just focusing on investing in themselves. Whatever that may be, whether it be taking a business class or working on whatever it is that's going to succeed or push their business to the next level.
I would say, in addition, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
Because that's a big one. I've started to realize I was getting further in my career when I started to acknowledge that I didn't have all the answers, and I started to ask for help. And so that really helped me. So I feel like just knowing that it's okay to ask for help is good. Do that and invest in yourself.
That's really good advice. Really good advice. All right, we're going to go to... If I go to that one first, it maybe fucks up the next one. So, all right, we're going to stay in order like we always do. First car and a story about that car. You've done this before, right?
Yeah, but I bet you still can't
I-
remember my first car.
I can't.
Yeah,
I can't remember.
What's gonna happen?
He's on hard body.
Close.
That's an S10. That's 100% an S10.
Yeah.
Was it an extreme or regular S10?
No, that's
Nice.
right.
Square body.
S10.
90,
Nope. 94.
94.
So first year of the
regular or
Extended
extended?
cab. Extended
Nope.
cab.
Standard cab.
Standard cab.
Standard. Oh.
Step side?
Nope. Fleet side.
It's a badass truck then. So that had the angled back bumper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, mine didn't. Mine had a roll pan on it.
Did you put it on?
See,
Factory paint color. You painted it
How many colors did you paint it?
Just one.
flat black.
Close.
Come on, man.
Flat black with red steelies. No, that came the hot rod.
That was
Yeah,
that was
later.
after. This was pre flat black red steelies.
All right, what year was this that you painted it?
2000. I think it was 2001 or 2.
No.
Was
Yeah,
it?
it's
2001 or
It was
2.
painted
I got-
before I was.
I got two. Either
I know where you're going with
So
that.
2000.
Was
Uh,
that
2000?
cocktail mix of House of Colors, Tangelo Pearl, and Sunset Orange.
No, he's not a Tangelo Pearl guy. No.
You're kind of in the right ballpark.
Color.
Or a bright
Tangelo.
yellow.
You're in the brightness. brightness
you're
world.
Bright
in the
yellow?
right spectrum. Still in the right spectrum.
Let's just say the color is comparable to something that could be on this table.
Oh, was it fucking Dayglow?
What's
Green. It was green.
Oh, I mean Dayglow green or Dayglow orange?
It wasn't Dayglow.
It
I
pink?
don't know
Was it
the-
pink?
It was green.
It is green.
Oh, green.
But it was like
Like a high vis.
yeah. What was that like Volkswagen Bug green?
Oh, I know the green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This you-
It's very close to the Hot Hues Sublime Green that I painted my Galaxy.
You drove this to
Yes,
high school. This
very
was
close.
Yeah.
high school transportation.
Yes, high school transportation.
Other question: did you paint your eyebrows to match your first vehicle, or was that only something that Josh
That was
did?
only Josh.
I didn't paint them.
Dyed.
I dyed them. Right? They lasted for a
Alright, so
long time.
No,
This
I
is
never
a-
got into dyeing any of my hair.
This is a
You
rare.
fucking didn't go hard as I did,
I
obviously.
This is a rare situation we have here because we can ask, well, like, how cool did you feel driving that, and how cool did he actually look driving it in high school?
This is a good question. Go ahead. You go first.
You go first.
All right, so you're rolling into high school parking lot. Or you're-
I felt so cool.
did you?
Fuck yeah, you
I
did.
was
You had a
the man.
custom.
I was the man.
Is that?
It was static, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
18-inch weld. Billet
Oh.
welds.
Shit.
Yeah.
What's the stance in that? Do you like? Because you can't really slouch down. Is it like arm out the window?
I mean, you can when
leaning?
you're like 110 pounds and 5'6".
Yeah.
And you
that's
had you had a box behind the seat, didn't you?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
12. Passenger seat though, so that one was shoved up. you
shoved
know.
up.
Okay, so now you're walking into school. Like
MTX
you've already
subs.
parked, and you're like, "Fuck, is this?"
Like, what the fuck is
so
that?
what does it look like?
Honestly, it was not bad. I liked it. Yeah, I mean, I want to hate on them, but it was not bad, especially for that time, right? It was just kind of standard for the course.
I would have to
Big man
guess
trucking.
there's not many folks pulling into the high school parking lot with a slammed, custom wheels, custom painted S10.
Nah.
So forget anything else.
Right.
There's very few people coming in rolling like that. So dude, fucking good on you.
He was
Fuck
the
yeah.
man. He was
What
Yeah.
town is this?
Champagne.
Champagne.
Yeah.
All right. Don't answer.
Okay.
You're also in Champagne.
You want to guess?
Yeah, we're gonna try to guess.
Okay.
You're also in Champagne.
I am.
This was
Well,
y'all same grade.
Yep.
You graduated in what 98 or 99?
No, that's like 04,
05.
probably 05. Yeah.
Oh, 05?
Yeah.
So we're not even close to the same age.
So that's why he looks so much.
Dude, people got it the first fucking time. All right.
yeah. I just
Complete
wanted to like read it
point.
to make sure I didn't know if I said it clearly or I was speaking into the mic.
Point has
Sometimes
been made.
Sometimes the mic like comes away.
Yeah, I get it. Everybody gets it.
So all right, 05.
Wow, that's you've named a lot of Chevrolet stuff. Your dad was a Chevrolet guy, whatever.
A convertible or
Was it-
hardtop?
Oh,
Yes.
never mind.
You got something?
Oh, it's a fucking T-top.
Yeah.
It's a Camaro.
Oh yeah.
It's 100% a fucking Camaro.
Yeah.
Yes,
T-top Camaro?
exactly.
Yeah. It was
Oh,
a-
that's where I was
T-top
fucking
I
going
rock.
when you.
Shit.
I wish it was an IROC. No, it was a '97 Camaro.
Okay.
Fifth
But-
gen.
Yeah.
Red?
Fourth gen.
Nope.
Gen.
It was the fuck. What,
Manual transmission?
Yes.
Skip shift eliminator in it.
It wasn't. It was. Was it 6-cylinder?
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
Did you tell him?
No, I'm putting that together. They have GTS blackout covers on it. No, this was after that.
After that, it would have. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple years later.
it's the red.
Is it pop up?
It's not red.
It's
No,
red.
it had the two square like rectangle.
There's
heads.
red,
There's
black,
maroon.
blue, white.
There was the maroon.
That old
Maroon
purplish
one.
maroon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're missing like the most easy color.
blue?
No.
White,
No.
black.
Yeah.
It was just black. Yeah.
Just black. Yeah.
I don't
Cl-
remember
black
seeing
chrome
a lot of
wheels.
I didn't know they did any black 6-cylinders though.
Yeah, it was an RS, so it
Okay.
had the aero kit on it and the chrome wheels.
gray cloth interior.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did the 6-cylinder still have the round shift knob?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was a hell of a car.
That's a
Oh, yeah.
difficult car to do
You needed to make sure you got,
extracurricular activities in the.
You find a way.
Well, if you flip the back seats down,
Well,
but you don't
the
get
back
in the
seats,
back.
huh?
Back seats didn't flip down.
it was fixed
No,
and it had the
yeah,
hump.
yeah.
It had the fucking
Had the hump.
tram.
It had the hump there,
Yeah,
but
then it had
the
the T-top fucking holder in the back.
all the way in the back. But the seat, the
No.
back of the seats would flip down.
Phil had one and my mom had one too.
I don't remember the seats going down. Possibly.
It had the little knob that you pulled and it flipped down.
Ooh, I think you actually might be right.
I may have never been aware of that.
It was definitely a hump in the middle. Though.
I'm-
It was like buckets.
I know my probe did, but I also know that Corey, that had that same exact Camaro, enjoyed the same activities that I did. That seat, yeah, I know the little drop down well that you put the T-tops in and the little bag that you
How
would try
did
to
you
zip
and
them up.
Corey decide like when it was going down in the back of the probe or the Camaro? It was just whoever was driving that night.
Shit went. It was with girls.
You were
You sure about that?
very rarely tongue-tied, but that one hemmed him up good.
I had a,
Yeah, I
a
fucking
different way I was going to go with it,
stumped
but
you on that one.
it was. Yeah, I'm almost positive. It had it almost. The knob was almost like a bigger version of what the older Chevrolet door lock knobs were.
I don't
in
remember.
the in the tops of the seats, and you pulled that, and the seat would fold down.
Does this thing got Google machine on it?
Yeah,
Probably
Yeah.
Google
look it
that
up.
thing.
Because Phil had the SS, and my mom had a Z28 convertible. What was the first year? Was it 92, 91?
I think it was 91. Or
So
no,
white.
91 was still a.
it would have been 94.
Yeah,
No,
they
'cause-
skipped 93.
You know, a white Z28 convertible.
I could be wrong, but I'm for some reason that
There they are, folded down.
That's a seat
that's a
relief.
3. That's a 3.
Yeah.
I don't think so, dude, because I don't see how
Just-
it would fold around that.
Don't put fold down.
That
Just do
tunnel.
97 Camaro rear seat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
there's
that's
no way
it. That
it
folds
right
down.
there.
Yeah, pretty sure that does.
I'm almost.
that fucker's fixed.
Yeah.
There's no way that's folding down.
You could be right. Anyways, I had two 10-inch subs back there, and it was awesome.
Yeah, the back, that thing was set up for subs.
For sure. That little
didn't
shelf.
have
Couldn't you get like the SLP sub kit too? The SLP
Oh,
had
I
that
couldn't
whole
afford
like,
that.
but they had a whole like catalog.
Oh, yeah.
right? Yeah. Yeah, honestly,
We're getting deep in this now.
Yeah, we are. Hey,
Got to know. People need to know.
Yeah,
I could 100% be wrong.
Half
there's
the
probably
world's on the
somebody
edge of their
listening to
seat
this
right
that's
now.
thinking about
Yeah,
getting
guys-
it.
Idiots, how do you not know
A
this?
guy has a car right now, and he's
And
looking
they're
back. And
hanging
like,
on
you
this.
guys are fucking idiots. Hey, you
I
know
thought
what?
I would have seen a picture already.
I agree.
Dude, it doesn't fall down.
It doesn't fall down.
Just
We're going to go with it.
Josh doesn't take losses well.
if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I just don't know what would hold it up from because in the hatch
Bolt.
there's nothing behind it. I'm
there's
pretty
like
sure they
a-
fold down.
It's like a little sub wall back there, like a little.
A small firewall that just stops at the back of the seat. I could be wrong. Reach out to us. Somebody's gonna let us know. We get let know all kinds of things.
I'd be curious if like somebody designed that car. Like, we just had a fucking Chrysler designer.
Oh, yeah.
Mopar designer.
He might have just already been on
Yeah.
when you're listening to this one.
Whoever designed that probably hasn't had an illustrious career though. Like they probably just faded off into the sunset.
I'd be careful.
You think so?
I think the
Should I
guy
walk
that
that back?
I would. I could be also wrong, but I'm pretty sure the guy that designed that is kind of well known.
Really?
Yeah. Hey, you know what?
Probably not for that.
We're
car, though.
too many. We're tequila
ultimate drift
and
machine.
bourbon in to be spewing
you
out
do-
facts that we have no idea.
Did you do a lot of drifting and wet parking lots and that?
No, but I did learn how to drive manual in it. And then I learned driving manual for the first time in it out in the country roads that if you're ripping like first, second gear, you're going third and you're in fourth. And if you want to downshift, that you don't skip gears. And
Ooh.
otherwise you blow up the clutch. And so I did that. I skipped gears and I blew up the clutch. And then I had to tell my mom, like, yeah, I don't know. Something was wrong with it. I don't know what happened to it.
What
You
was
re-
that excuse like?
My mom didn't know any different. She was just like, oh, okay, yeah, let's get you a new clutch.
Did you wreck that car, or did it move on to something else?
No, I only had that car for probably a year and a half, and then I got into the tuner life, got a little Integra,
Oh,
and then I got rid of that.
Fucking
Had,
money.
had a
Fucking-
Wrangler, lifted a Wrangler, did the rock crawling thing for a while, got rid of that. Had a 5 Series BMW, got rid of that. Had a 05 STI. That thing was probably still to this day one of the most fun cars I've ever owned. That thing was built, and it was just absolute blast.
Did it come with a vape, or did you start vaping after?
After, for sure.
Okay.
After the BMW or the
No, after STI.
Yeah. Well, then I bought an Evo 9, and then things got worse from there. No, it was an Evo 8, whatever the 07.
How much
was.
Monster Energy did you drink in that time period?
Funny story. I actually used to work for Monster Energy drinks.
Really?
That's why you had the car.
In college, I worked for Monster, and for about 3 or 4 years, and it was a good time. It was a good gig.
I'll bet.
I bet that was fun.
It was, slinging free monsters. Everybody loves you.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
good. It was a good time.
I had one of those guys that come by the shop. He was working for Coca-Cola, so that and Red Bull out of Atlanta, and he'd come by, and it was just refrigerators and cases and
I had cases of them stacked 15 high in my garage.
Yeah.
I mean, it was just too much. But
We had fucking tea drinker was working here, and he was working for NOS,
Oh,
doing like events and stuff on the
He was
side.
one of the booth girls for NOS Energy.
He'd bring in just like pallets.
Mikulich.
Yeah, this stuff was just like drinking pure sugar.
But you know what it was absolutely great for? If you make a potato gun and you take
3-inch exhaust.
3-inch exhaust pipe and weld that up into a barrel, those NOS cans drop right in and they just go over the tree line. You have no idea what they
We fabricated one, like it just escalated, and we built, like, we welded up, fabbed this whole thing with a 3-inch stainless barrel, and it was all like 1/4-inch wall tube in the chamber with a Schrader valve, and we were just putting the compressor, filling it with compressed air, and then we stepped up to nitrogen.
Yep.
So we were putting like 250 pounds of air. You could shoot a NOS can with just a little gate valve. You could shoot it from here to fucking Milwaukee.
Mikulich told me y'all hit you clipped the space station.
Yeah.
With it. He's like,
Although-
dude is like, and the space station was like,
for all the listeners in Milwaukee with NOS cans through the roof, it was not Jeremy.
Oh, it was
Different.
that was a fun time.
space station was. Last but not least, favorite law enforcement interaction story,
Favorite?
or most fun for us to listen to.
most regrettable, most memorable.
Troy, you go first. I got to think about this
Man,
one.
I got to think about it too. None of them were favorable.
Okay, what's the one you're like? These guys are gonna get a kick out of this.
Well, so last year when you were in town, when Troy was in town,
Recent,
we
yes.
yeah,
I
we
love
went,
that.
We were in Goldie, and we went to
that's probably a good one.
we went to Squeeg's little after party, and we were leaving, and there was, what was this, like an old Suburban or something? It was clearly like a diesel. It was, rolling coal, and I was like, oh, this guy wants it, and Troy was like, no, he doesn't, and I was like, well, I think he does.
You can tell when they do.
You can tell.
Yeah.
So we were getting ready to get on the freeway, and I'm like, whatever, we're gonna goose it, and just I let her rip. And we were on the freeway pretty quick, and don't know how fast we were going. And all of a sudden, I look back and I see this this big tire Corvette, and I was like, oh man, did you see that big tire Corvette back there? He's like, no, and I'm like, that thing's got to be fast. Like, I don't want to mess with that thing. Well, didn't matter, because right behind me was a motorcycle police officer with his lights on, and I was like, oh shit, I'm going to jail. Like, I was doing over 120 probably at that point.
Yeah.
And he pulled up next to my window and was like, "Fah, fah, fah, fah." I'm like, I look over, and he's like, don't drive stupid again. And I was like, yes, sir. Just backed her down to 65, and the big tire Corvette came by me, and he was just like, thumbs up. And I was like, yeah, that was fun. That was fun for everyone except me. But good times.
Yeah, you dodged a bullet on that one.
You don't have any?
No, I don't think so. Nothing that
Just make something up.
nothing that I wasn't a complete idiot on.
You're telling me Vinny's never gotten you in trouble, almost locked up?
No, I steer clear of Vinny when it starts getting to that point.
Vinny's got some good.
Vinny's
run-ins
coming
with
on
law.
the podcast before the end of the year.
I'm looking
And
forward to that one,
we're-
because I know a little bit about his police story.
Yeah.
We're taking the last 45 minutes for law enforcement interaction stories.
Vinny's, I think, is the only one that ended with a piece of jewelry,
Like, you can even hang out with Vinny and like
That's-
they know
that's-
you're.
an ankle brace.
That's that one. That's that one. But there's several others. It's not like it's a one and done.
That's the problem. I think I've hung out with Vinny so much that like you don't have to worry about it when you're hanging out with Vinny, because he's the one that's going to get in
Yes.
trouble. So you're good.
Yeah. Hey, I love him to death though. That's one person that if he's around,
That's a good time.
it's a good time, but you also never have to worry about possibly if somebody's going to have your back.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
you know he does.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you don't need him to. You're like, no, dude, no, that dude was just bringing me a drink.
and-
There's no sense.
unless you're eating, then you get thrown on the ground by Mikey, and then Vinny's nowhere to be seen.
I was a little
Correct.
nervous. I was
Well,
a little nervous
hey,
that Mikey was going to get.
I was
completely. That honestly worked out in the best for everybody.
Yeah, that was-
specifically Mikey, because Vinny was preoccupied, and I know Vinny well enough to know. I've known Vinny for 20 plus years. That there is a switch, and that switch probably would have been flipped in that moment, and then you'd had to tell him after the fact that it was an honest mistake.
Yeah,
But it wouldn't have mattered then.
MDK.
Yeah. So it worked. It worked. It worked out.
It did work out.
Right. For everybody except Eden. It didn't work out for her.
So your answer is no answer.
My answer is no answer.
That's probably
yeah,
the best.
I got nothing.
You got
I got-
pending litigation, don't you?
I got a question for the
I
table.
might be under court supervision. You know.
So I don't know how well you guys know Troy. I mean, it seems like pretty well for the most part. But over under on how many times you think Troy has ran out of gas?
Oh, is this
Well,
a
let's see. Wait,
Is
if
this
you're
a
throwing
Phil?
that out there, let's see if it's more or less than Phil.
Ooh, okay.
So the
that
gas gauge is suggestion?
Is that your signature move too?
You got to go to the edge to find it.
Yeah.
And sometimes you got to go past it.
You got to make sure the gas gauge works.
I'll say
That's-
this: whatever it is, however many times it is, it's probably half of how many times Phil's done it.
It's insane to me.
So I'd say it's.
I've ran out of gas, put like 2 gallons in it in the gas can, and then
That's
ran
correct.
out of gas again.
Troy would do the same thing, 100%.
Driving 2 miles back and forth to work.
Now, take Phil's how many times he's ran out of gas
Yeah.
and add the amount of vehicles that he has driven but then left
Out of gas. Yeah.
And if he would have had to have continued to drive said vehicle,
Yep.
how many times would that be? Because there's been times he's fit.
immeasurable. It's changed quite
I've
a
gotten,
bit, though.
I've gotten quite more mature.
Add 10 feet to the drive of the vehicle that he left out of gas to then get another vehicle
you
that
get
had
in-
gas
I've
in it.
died pulling into the parking lot here twice.
Yeah.
I've also ran out of gas pulling into a gas
Do you
station.
know how many times it was? I can't even tell you. It was a normal phone call between. It was either me or my dad that was getting the call. Like, hey, are you at work? Yeah. Can you grab like a gas can? It's like 5 gauge. I'm like, not far from here.
You could probably walk it.
I'm in my driveway.
You got to live on the edge. What's wrong
So
with
you
guys?
are also
That's
in.
one thing I've
Hey,
never done.
Oh, I cannot
Never.
stand.
Dude, we ran on the fucking
be low
road
on
tour.
gas.
The road tour. We're in. Was it Memphis?
Yeah,
That was
no,
a bad spot.
No,
no,
that's
we were
the-
Meridian. We were
Yeah.
in Meridian,
It's
Mississippi.
not a good fucking spot. Phil runs out of gas.
We were in the
on a-
bad part of Meridian.
coming downhill.
There's
which
not a lot of
worked
good
out
parts.
Well, and
Due to my experience, popped that fucker in neutral, coasted right
yeah,
into the gas
in
station.
his square body.
Pro
It's
move.
like it's one of those places you don't want to get out of the
You
fucking
should-
car.
the thing
I'm
is, it's like-
following you, and you get off the exit, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Here's the
Not
thing you
here,
guys don't
not
understand
here.
though. Like usually when you run out of gas, it dies, and then you just kind of reposition it a little bit to get that lean quite right, and it'll fire back up
To get
and
it in the
typically get you to either where you're going or the gas station.
If
But
you put
you-
air right on
but
that,
if-
you can just dump the
Yeah,
bag. right?
exactly. Like you just got to get that fuel in the right.
when it gets
Location.
to a quarter of a tank,
Fill it up.
that's
Oh,
been
no.
like, hey, dude, at any time in the next 50 miles, go ahead and stop and get gas.
No, that gas light that comes out that says 50 miles to go, that really means like 65 or 70.
Dude,
No,
I've been
so-
at zero
So
for
how
a
do you
week.
deal? I
There's
didn't
no
see
award
what-
for that.
I
There's
didn't
no
see what you're
award.
driving, but you said you're driving like a 1 ton or a 3/4 ton. Which any like the new Chevys,
That's
they
double
get when
dipping.
it gets to like. It'll say 50 miles till empty.
That's a
and
half
then
mile.
Then all of a sudden it just goes to like low fuel.
Yeah, you're
you,
done.
you lose the mileage count.
That's when
Right?
Troy starts tracking 50 miles.
When you get to low fuel, you still got some time.
50 miles.
Yeah, like
Well, no, but here's how Troy does it because he's run out of gas in his brown C10 several times.
Several.
And I was like, hey,
Not
you have a problem.
Not a dual tank truck.
I'd like to find you a solution. So I'm like, let's get
I
you a
trust a
reserve
dual
tank.
tank truck.
I had a
And he's
dual
like,
tank
well,
truck.
I would
Same thing.
probably just switch it. So I'm like, well, we got to figure out a way that you have to get out of the truck to switch it to the reserve fuel tank. He's like, well, I'd probably still run that out of gas. So then we're at my uncle's house, and there was this old gas tank, and I was like, hey, we should put that in the back of your truck and make that like a reserve as well. And he's like, well, I'm still gonna know there's gas in there. So then we programmed his gas gauge, knowing this, to be like, all right, when your light comes on, you need to go get gas. We know he's not gonna do that. But then when it's on E, you still got like, I don't know, 25 miles. But the problem is that he knows
Figures that out.
Yeah. And so it's like telling your wife, hey, we got to leave in 30 minutes. No, you got to leave in an hour. And then she starts to figure out the time warp there.
Yep.
It's like Troy knows, okay, well,
Is
I ran out of gas again.
Is it you just want to see what you can do,
Yeah,
or is
I-
it that you just don't like to get
No,
gas?
I mean, like when I go to the gas station, I fill the tank up completely full, as much as you can get in there.
Right, and then
Like,
give it a little
to the
couple
point
squirts
where,
more.
like,
I know.
you shouldn't do
Pull it
that.
out and you're
I'm,
shooting it.
I'm with you.
Like-
if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna
Yeah,
get it
like,
all.
I get it all every
Right,
time.
but I
just-
also am fine with pulling into the gas station at like, a quarter of a tank. I'm like, I don't really want to fuck
No,
with it
see, I'm
tomorrow,
not
so
doing
let me
it.
go ahead
No.
and fill this thing up now.
It's
I'm not-
inefficient.
yeah, I'm not.
You're
doing that.
wasting time.
Yeah,
You're-
I'm not doing
As
that.
opposed to being on the side
How
of the road
much
for
t-
a half an hour waiting
How
for a
much
gas
other
can.
people's time are you wasting to come
Yeah.
get you?
Like if there's like if I have a 2-hour window to do something, like I am going to pack 2 hours and 10 minutes worth of things into that and be late for whatever I'm supposed to be at.
See, that's not me.
That's how I operate. It's like the gas thing. Like
Dude, I would start thinking about this from a like your motto seems to be through your InTek OTTO is that you're solving problems, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you solve that problem? What do you create?
Dude, a billet flask.
Just think about it.
Just
You don't
like
have to
a
answer
gallon.
now, but just kind of tuck that away and think about it. Maybe there's like a little reserve tank that like fills up and then drains back down, but then fills. So it's not like getting stale, right? You don't want that gas to go bad, but you need it there when you need it.
I've got an idea.
Just think about it. Is all I'm saying.
Let's hear it.
We talked to Justin at Dakota, right? He makes that gas gauge random.
Ooh, I like it.
Every time a key on, it's a different level. You have no idea. So there's no possible way he can try and trick the system. Be like, I got a little
company
more.
that already makes that.
And now we are wrapping the podcast up because there's not a better
Let's go to
way
dinner.
to end.
Let's grab
Let's
some
go to
dinner.
dinner. Thanks
for
again for
coming out, guys.
listening. See you again next week.